Hello everyone, and welcome back to Spelljammer, Light of Xaryxis, here on Dork Tales. I hope you're all doing well today for this most Light of Xaryxis-y of days, because not only is this Light of Xaryxis, the episode title is Light of Xaryxis, because the guy who named the chapter was really lazy. I am prone to that as well. So hello everybody, I am Kelly. I'm your Dungeon Master here. I use he and him, and guys, it is the finale. And I'm super happy to be doing this because I get to kill some of my favorite people and their characters. You know, it's going to be fun.
Hey, what?
Are you all drinking the Kool-Aid I mailed to you?
Oh, crap.
I mean, as is tradition.
All right. Did you take the cyanide pill with the Kool-Aid? Because that's how it works.
Oh, no, I didn't read the instructions.
All right. So, hello, everybody.
Sorry, I'm a
Welcome.
YouTuber, I can't read.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
thought that was a silica gel packet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was supposed to absorb the ooze. That's the secret of the ooze. Silica. All right. So, folks, today we are finishing off Spelljammer, Light of Xaryxis. And it is going to be a fantabulous time. Boom. Now everyone has determination. Thanks to the chat. Thank you. And we are going to be heading into game. But before we do that, I have a couple of quick announcements and a thank you. But I think let's introduce the players first. Let's start with Amy.
Oh, that is me. Hello, I am Amy. My pronouns are she, her, and they, them. And I am playing Mulj Plava, the Plasmoid Barbarian of the Depths. And it's going to be I think we're in a bit of a sticky situation here, guys.
I mean, you're an ooze. You're always a sticky situation.
Well, you don't have to point it out.
I don't have to, but, you know, I'm a perv. All right. Next up, we have Christa. We'll go with Christa today.
Hi, I'm Christa. I use she, them, or her, they pronouns, and I am playing our Zeal cleric, Francis Ponsoby, who is doing better than some, but not doing great, and stoked to smash some elves with a hammer.
Nice. It's hammer time.
'Tis hammer time.
Tis hammer time indeed, verily.
Indeed,
All right.
Indeed.
Down to Mike.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Michael, going with he, him pronouns. And today I'm playing Wrek Felnar, the monk of the open toe, fist, foot.
A real toad.
I don't know. I've been practicing my crane kicks all week, so we'll see what happens.
Those poor cranes.
I know. They fly away so quickly, but, you know, sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the wing. All right. Over to Millie.
Hey, y'all, I'm Millie, and or Bunny-Hearted in the chat and elsewhere. My hoedown pronouns are she and her, or they and them, and I guess I'm our... Oh, did you do one in up arrow?
Sorry, I just need to interrupt. I need you to go again, but include the phrase, the award-winning Bunny-Hearted.
The award-winning. Aw, that's true. I did actually just win a award for a rising star as a streamer in VR spaces.
And we
Pretty
celebrate
cool.
our successes as a
I'm
team
pretty proud
here,
of
damn
that.
it.
That was amazing. I'm stoked on that one. I'm also stoked on my hoedown pronouns, which are she, her, they, and them. And I guess I'm playing the angriest disaster Disney princess from space at this point. Our seeker warlock Tana Starbell.
Wonderful.
The song in her heart has been replaced with only the desire to kill. Not really. Also, there's a song there.
It's true. All right. And last but not least, Kat.
Hey everyone, I'm Kat. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I'm playing on, I guess today, and yeah. I'm playing our glitchling druid of the stars, Cheshire.
Nice. All right. So, folks, before we begin, a couple of things. This is the final episode of Light of Xaryxis, but that doesn't mean there is not going to be a lot more fun. In just a couple of weeks on this time slot, bi-weekly on Sunday afternoons, a brand new campaign is going to begin that consists of a couple of people from here, and it is called Arcos, the Slumbering Isles or Seas. We're kind of working on it. But it is a game set in our homebrew world of Elos, which may or may not be saved today at the end of Spelljammer. And inside of this world, there is kind of an island chain known as Arcos, kind of exists like the Grecian Isles. And this is a Greek epic that will take the party into the realms of Arcos and the realms beyond. It's slated to be like a 12 to 20 episode show that starts in April, and it's going to be pretty fantastic. You'll enjoy seeing the likes of Amy, Millie, Kel, who is back on the channel more regularly now, as well as, who else is in that game? Traz and...
Robin.
And Robin, obviously, yeah. And it's going to be fantastic. I think Amy's the most human of the character. Oh, no, Traz is kind of a human. Fair enough. But it's going to be great. The art's almost done. I should have that up on our Patreon soon to show you about what we're looking at. And then I've almost got the overlay frames done, and it's looking good. It's looking real slick. It's going to be fantastic. So I hope you join us for that. Other fun things. On Tuesday this week, please join us for Streaming for Survivors, where Christa runs us through Powered by the Apocalypse in PBTV, which is going to be a hilarious and weird romp through the television-based multiverse, where a bunch of slackers watching TV are going to live out their dreams of being stars, which also includes living out their nightmares.
Dream or nightmare?
Why not both? So long as we end up in Prestige TV, that's all that matters, where we all just get shot in the back of the head, it cuts to black. Oh, if you ever want that, by the way, I can just cut people's feeds to black. Sopranos style. So just let me know.
That's very good.
Any other fun announcements? All right.
We did our game on Friday, the one that Jen ran, raised almost $600.
It did. It raised half our overall goal in one night, which is fantastic. If you join us on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, you can help us get the rest of the way there. If you've never seen Powered by the Apocalypse in action, I strongly suggest you join us for that. It's going to be Christa running with myself, Michael, Kel, and who's
Cal.
number 4? And Cal. Oh God, this is going to be a hell of a game.
Kel, Kelly, and Michael.
Oh yeah, it's the K game. So you should definitely join us for that, because we're not just going through one Powered by the Apocalypse system. We're going through like at least 5 of them, I would say, if not way
I
more.
have 15 prepared.
How many?
15.
Holy crap. Woo! Also fun things. If you are a member of the Patreon, we have another game of Technocracy Zero Sum coming next week. We have Strixhaven, who I'm going to be so happy to only be running one majorly S game. Tomorrow, Strixhaven is tomorrow, and then another game is coming very soon. So you're going to have a lot of content, and then another episode of Hunter is forthcoming. But more on that soon. We also can prep up for Demon the Descent when that comes in mid-April. Wow, April's soon. All right, it's going to be fantastic, people. I think you're going to enjoy it. But with that, the last thing I have to say is a big thank you to our sponsor for today's episode, Bookwyrm Games. Bookwyrm Games is a Vancouver-based dice and gaming supply shop. It is your general store for everything dice, from resin dice to metal dice to wood dice to edible dice, so that you can intimidate your other dice, eat your dice to scare your other dice into rolling better while making direct eye contact with their ones. You can do this at bookwormgames.com. I strongly suggest you check them out and use code DorkTales2023 to save 10%. Best thing of all, these are Canadian prices, so if you are in Canada, they're really reasonable. If you're in the States or anywhere outside of Canada, they're really inexpensive. And if you spend $100 Canadian, I would remind you, which is like 80 US, your shipping's free, which is phenomenal for this type of stuff. They have some of the best deals on dice I've ever seen. And so much so that even before they were our sponsor, me, Robin, and Christine dropped like $250 at their booth at Fan Expo on dice for ourselves. So please help us break even. So please support them, because we're just gonna buy more dice, guys. It's good. It's just we're very sad individuals with lots of dice. But you can also be an individual with lots of dice, but you won't be sad. You'll be very happy because you're supporting Dork Tales and this wonderful company. I also suggest you check out. Ooh, this is about to be a tongue twister. I suggest that you check out questchest.info, which is a brand new system agnostic game in a box that they are designing for publication. You can get some right now with handouts, riddles, puzzles, maps, sometimes coffee and tea, and always curated music and more. Enough to keep a group of players entertained for, depending on the speed of your players, 1 to 9,000 sessions. More like 1 to 4 usually, but still, for the quality of what you get, it's a fantastic deal. And they're working on a Kickstarter right now where I have been informed that I have been mistaken, that it is not going to have 4 games in the Kickstarter, but instead is going to have 5. That's a lot of games for one Kickstarter. And if you go back, tell them we sent you somehow. Use our code, and there's a good chance that they might do a collaboration with us on our own quest chest. Wouldn't you like a Dork Tales quest chest, where you get to raid my dice closet as one of the? I don't know what it would be. I don't know what it would be. I'll let them write it. I might collab.
It was the
really
chest
cool.
quest. Remember, we got to do a chest quest for quest chest.
Yeah, we have to go look for chests. Chest quest.
It's just about working out and building big pecs.
Yeah. Or taking estrogen. Either way, like
those are the 2 paths.
I mean, big fan.
The 2 paths, estrogen or gym.
It's phenomenal to me.
It's true.
What about Astro Gym?
Yeah, you gotta go to the estrogen.
Oh,
Honestly,
there you
like
go.
if you build
I'm
up
gonna
your
call it the
pecs,
women's
like
gym
it'll
now.
push them up more.
Also, I did just run the exchange rate for American, and for that free shipping, you're spending 72 American
Are
dollars.
you shitting me? It's only 72? This is a genuine shock. This is not put on.
That's
72?
so
This is
bad.
how bad our exchange
72.
rate is right now? Guys, go
Yeah.
buy the dice.
Apparently.
Go
Yeah.
buy the dice.
Like,
It's
seriously.
There's like 2 pair of dice in the US, and these are metal dice. Like they're like some of the dice they had are like $35-$40 for metal dice. Like it's unheard of. And they're good dice. Like they're actually good. They even have liquid core ones, which all of my players that bought them are obsessed with, because they just shake them the whole time like a snow globe. But anyway,
There's one that's called the gelatinous polyhedron, and
well, I know
I
you're
need it.
gelatinous. I
It's
didn't know you were a
blue.
polymule.
ah,
Well, we're going to do a big team order. And then the last thing I'm going to say about Bookwyrm is they're at GaryCon in Indiana right now. If you are at GaryCon and are just kind of waking up to us or watching us on your phone, go say hi to Bookwyrm. Just strafe their table and go, Dorkdale sends its regards. And then keep going. I just want to see if you can freak out Michael. He's the guy with glasses there. So that's just me.
oh god, the euro exchange rate.
Don't even look at euros. Never look at euros.
You know, someone posted it in the Twitch chat, and I'm just like, oh, oof.
Oh.
I'm not traveling for a while, I guess, out of
Jesus,
country.
yeah. These are it's like stupid good prices, guys. Go support them. They're good people, and if we get enough, they'll keep supporting us because this stream is expensive to run. I was looking at my quick aside. Last month, my credit card was like super high, and I'm like, that's weird. I know I spent a lot of money at Fan Expo, but it didn't. Oh yeah, Adobe. My Adobe charge came out, and it was like, oh, there's $600 I didn't need to spend so I can edit these
Ouch.
videos. Stab. Oh, so please support us, and don't tell me I should use DaVinci because I learned on Premiere, so that's kind of what I use.
But I was so ready to type it in chat.
Were you? You're like DaVinci.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Not really,
no,
but now I'm pretending I was.
No, from my time in pseudo film school, like it's that and Final Cut. Like those are what I know.
I was about to say, you mean Final Cut?
Yeah, no, Final Cut can cut it out.
I know.
I'm gonna God, Final Cut is the word. At least old Final Cut. But then again, that was on computers that would take literally 5 hours to render 6 minutes of footage.
Yep.
Man, we went to film school at the wrong time, Christa. Like,
I
we
know.
could have shot entire movies on our phones now. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you so much to Bookwyrm Games. You guys are amazing. Go visit them right now at bookwormgames.com. That's not worm like a worm. That's worm like a, oh, I'm a dragon worm. So with a Y. Okay. And that's going to be that. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Spelljammer Light of Xaryxis. Any last questions, comments, or concerns before we begin?
Many concerns, but no questions.
Oh, that works for me. All right. So, without further ado, let us begin. Spelljammer, Light of Xaryxis. The Xaryxian Empire bombarded the character's world with astral seeds, which sprouted into crystal vines that began harvesting the planet's energy. Determined to save their world, the characters fought their way to the Imperial Citadel orbiting Xaryxis, the vampire star, where the next emperor of the Xaryxian Empire was declared, Princess Zadali. The princess turned on the characters after they spurned her, refusing to return her mystic ring, and now the characters find themselves locked in a final battle for the fate of their world. To give you a little bit of context where we are right now, you are inside the Imperial Citadel. The base of the Imperial Citadel, the inside of the Temple of Light, is a large circular chamber, the center of which has an immense beam of light that is shooting up into a reflector crystal at the top that goes right into the heart of Xaryxis, the vampire star. There at the base of it, that astral font is glowing with intense energy. From there, you saw that I'm just checking one thing real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Are you brought into... Yes. Okay, it's the astral font. Okay. So, yeah, and you can see up into that, right? Yeah, you can see up into that. Okay, cool. Sorry, just making sure. They don't make the schematics of this place very clear, so I just wanted to make sure. So, I was mistaken. So, inside of this room, you can see that it is a wide circle. In the chamber is this thing called the astral fount. Inside of it are shoaling waters that are just kind of bubbling with magical energy that are drained down from the astral beam above. Above, where you can see through the floor to the ceremonial chamber, you watched as the connection point between the starlit beam and Xaryxis itself acted as a conveyance, transporting the dead emperor into the heart of Xaryxis, the vampire star, as is their custom. Normally, this would be inaccessible, you imagine, but because of his funeral, the connection between those 2 points is open. That might be plot relevant later. I don't know why. And I don't think the module outlined that, hey, your player should probably know this shit. So I'm just going to put that out there on the table. With that, you've just been through a life or death struggle with the living armor known as the Zodar. As you defeated it in one-on-one combat, it seemed to power down. Zadali attempted to retrieve her ring, but Francis sensed something off with her and encouraged Tana to not present it. As you took a step back, Zadali sneered. As Emperor, I must reward my champions for this triumph. Guards, seize them. What a pity. And as a dozen honor guards descend, suddenly, at the back of the room, you will hear a trembling noise as the Zodar powers up again, rising above the ground. A resounding supernatural voice, a supernal voice, issues from the Zodar, astonishing everyone. Take the Ring of Stars into the heart of the star where it was forged, and your world will be saved. At this pronouncement, golden light spills from the Zodar's eyes and washes over you. And then, the Zodar crumbles to dust. Light suffuses you. And suddenly, each of you find themselves suffused with magical energy. All of you are going to regain all of your hit points. And You know what? I don't like the way this module's written in that case. All of you will gain the benefit of a long rest.
Yo, that's dope. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, they say that you just get regain your hit points, but it's a wish spell. Why would it be that late? So, as the Zodar crumbles to dust, Zelith and Zidali turn to each other, their faces aghast. Have the gods forsaken us? The Zodar. It matters not, brother. I am Emperor now. Seize them! Can I get an initiative roll?
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly,
Heck yeah, wish spell.
all right, let's do it. Okay, so
My
rolling for
man.
Zidali. Okay.
Tana finally at near the front of the pack.
So excited.
Woo, go Tana!
You
I mean,
swap
Tana has a
rule.
+4 to initiative, and I've had an initiative of 5 multiple times this game.
All right, so here's the deal. There are many honor guards, so I'm going to have them go in waves of 3.
Makes sense.
Oh crap! Don't I have initiative yeah, no, it's not better. It's a 4 instead of a 3.
Okay,
I
so
love
what do we got here? Starting off, we've got Wrek leading the
Might be better than
charge
one.
with a 28. Down the list, we have Tana with a 21. Next, we have Kat. Do me a favor, roll me a d20.
Nat 1.
Okay, so honor guard 1, honor guard 2, honor guard 3.
Oh
Then it's
no!
going to be
Oh
Cheshire.
no.
Then looking down the list, we have. All right, Christa, roll me a d20.
16.
Okay, then we have Francis. Then we have Honor Guard 4, Honor Guard 5, Honor Guard 6.
I don't like that those are waves, not just individual guards.
Well, I could do them individually, but that would be way too many initiatives. Then we have HG7, HG8, HG9.
Oh my god.
Okay, who's
How
above
many are in a
10?
wave?
3. But I rolled 2
Oh.
waves above the next initiative. Then we have Zidali. Then we have I'm running out of initiative on this tracker. Hold on. Let me make a long initiative chart. There we
The
go.
longest.
I mean, you're gonna see it in a minute.
Mm.
Okay, and then it is Mulj. Or no, yeah, it is Mulj, yeah. So this is the initiative chart. I don't.
Oh, no.
And this is. I'm gonna have to make a change to this soon. All right.
Oh god. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all. Okay. I am going to spend a Hurt the Morph to get a preempt.
Oh god.
I will have my justice, Zidali says, and is going to use her once-a-day bonus action and summon her Solar Dragon companion.
Oh no.
A Solar Dragon has joined the field. Acts on its own initiative. Of course you do. Okay. I knew I was going to have to change this. You know what? I'm going to spend your... Do someone buy us something good happens?
I don't think so.
No, I think we had a drama
No,
bomb.
they all want us to die.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
you know what?
Robin
I don't want to
specifically
redo the
wants us to
initiative,
die.
so I'm going to swap Zidali's initiative with the Solar Dragon and say that she goes...
Oh, there you go. Kel just bought us if something good happens.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Kel.
Okay. I will put the Solar Dragon last then. Cool. There we go. It's spent. It's done. because that means I don't have to write my initiative again. All right, so top of the initiative then, we have Wrek. Let's switch to the map frames. Let's go. Woo-woo! All right, Wrek, you are up, my friend.
Okay. Can I use my Step of the Wind bonus action, spending a key point, to leap behind that front line of guards?
You would have to make an acrobatics roll to move through their spaces.
Oh, that's fine. I just want to land pretty much next to her immenseness there.
Sounds good.
Just for clarification, the guy, the Zotar, what was his name?
The Zodar.
The Zodar. He said to throw it into the beam. That's at the top, right?
It is on the next floor up. Specifically, he said you must take it into the beam. He did not say throw it.
Oh, okay. 10-4. But that's on the second level?
It is on the second level.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, Wrek, if you want to try to push through, make me an acrobatics check. Unless
Where's my dexterity?
goblins don't have the ability to move through larger enemy spaces, right? Automatically?
No, I can use a bonus action called Nimble Escape to disengage or hide, but
Okay.
I'm using my bonus action right now to jump over the front ranks. So
Sounds good.
that would be a 19.
That is going to be enough. So you just want to position yourself right next to Zadali?
Yeah, if I can, that's ideal.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. All right. What do you do?
I will land on my feet, look at her, and go, "You got something in your face," and then start planting a boot in it.
What? And then you'll punch it. All right. Go ahead.
Wait, since when did he start wearing boots?
I've always worn boots.
That's so luxurious.
He just throws them most of the time as well.
Yes.
That's true.
Okay.
Imagine him having a kilt of boots.
Okay, so my lowest roll is a 16, and then 23 and 26.
All right. Those will hit.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. So it's 10, 20, 10, 19, 20. So that's 24 damage.
24 damage. All right. Surging forward, you are going to...
And I'm going to pop a stunning strike on one of those hits.
Okay, sounds good. Let me just do the math mentally. Okay. All right, 3 of your strikes will smash into Zadali, who is tougher than she looks, but that's still going to be a pretty resounding hit. And that is a con save, right?
Yes. So
Whoop.
14 is your target.
I rolled a nat 14.
Yeah, of course you did.
I'm sorry. Still, you cranked her in the face a bunch of times, and
Yeah.
she also has to make a strength save, doesn't she? You did not use Flurry of Blows. Never mind.
I didn't use flurry blows because I used my wind step to get there.
Sounds good to me. All right, so that's your turn. Tana, you're up. What do you do?
I have a question for how much dialogue one can fit into a round of combat. 3 quick sentences, maybe.
Let's hear them.
I'll see if I can cram it in. Well, Tana's going to throw her book on the ground first and start organizing a spell, but wants to ask Zadali, how many millions have been killed to keep that star alive? How many millions more will you kill to ensure it continues? Is this really what you want to do? Is this really who you are? And then she's casting Summon Greater Demon.
Okay, what demon are we summoning today?
Same one as before, Frank the Barlgura. I'll put the stat block into chat here on our end.
You can run it.
Sure, I just
If
think
you
you should have it.
How do you spell that again? It's
B-A-R-L.
oh, never mind. I got it right here, and it is large size, right?
Yeah, so it does get initiative on its own turn, I think.
All right. It is acting on initiative 16, which is going to put it right in front of Cheshire, or right with Cheshire.
Cool. Sounds good.
Right with Francis. So, okay, I will say it shares initiative with Francis then.
Okay, awesome.
So if you can do me a
Quite
favor
rare.
here,
Frankie's together at last.
if you can kill honor guard number 4, that which I'm just going to say is this one with the red dot, that would make my life way easier for initiative purposes. All right, so
Red dots.
Ladies
arcane.
and gentlemen, this is how you co-storytell with your players.
Yep. Can you do me a favor and tell me real quick how this demon summoning, does it just claw its way out of your book?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Sick.
It is a
All right.
massive, like, how tall is this thing? Like 20-foot tall gorilla that rips out of the pages of her book.
Does it? What languages does it speak?
I think it speaks Abyssal? It's not the cleverest of demons.
Abyssal and telepathy. So it's going to look around and go, in Abyssal, kill them.
Say back in Abyssal, kill them.
And then it's going to take its just show up around to do this. And crack its knuckles
good.
really loud. So it's going to take its
It's
show
gonna
up
get
turn.
murked by a dragon, but you know, it's a blade of armor.
All right. Tana, do you have anything else you can do with your turn? You spoke, you summoned.
I think I still have my spells up from everything before, so I think I'm actually good. I mean, positioning
Beautiful.
might move to beside Francis, just to not be in front of Francis.
All right.
Valid.
So
Although
with
there's more
that-
guards on the other side.
There are 12 guards. Honor guard number 1
Uh-oh.
is going to go, my queen or my emperor. Sorry, gender terminology. And is going to pivot around, and they make her emperor in the book, which I find fun.
Mm-hmm.
They deliberately don't say empress, and is going to. Actually, you know what? It was better back here. So he's going to turn around and is going to raise his blade and fire 2 radiant ray attacks against Wrek. Here they come, Wrek. Okay, the first one goes pew and hits by your feet, and you're gonna go ha ha. And then another one is going to aim and is going to hit you center mass with a nat 20.
Of course.
Yeah. I ain't faking. These are real dice. Okay, I need more d10s. 1 sec. Unless someone hits me with a silvery barbs in 3, 2, 1. I've rolled.
Does anyone have it?
I don't
No.
know. I expected
no
at this
card.
point.
Then never mind.
You'll be fine. I hope your party remembers they have healers, though. Okay, Wrek. That's going to be 42 points of radiant damage with the crit.
Oh
Oh,
my
feel that.
god.
All right. That is Honor Guard number 1. Honor Guard number 2, he is going to turn around to defend his Emperor as well. And he's going to take 2 slashes at you. That is a 19.
And that hit.
Okay, and a 24. So that's going to be 2 slashes
Yep.
into Wrek. Okay, the first one is going to do, that is going to be not as much as it could. That's going to be 10 points of slashing damage. And then 10 points of radiant damage. That's nice and easy.
I'm down. I'm down.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And
Sorry, I'm coming, bud.
so he takes you down with the first slash, and then is going to stab your prone body because you kicked his emperor in the face. So that is going to be 2 failed death saves coming up next round. How dare you! And then the other honor guards are going to surge around the Barracuda, Baruga, whatever you want to call it. What's its initiative, or what's its armor class?
15.
Okay,
So I
that
should move its
is
stat block.
2
It's
hits.
easier to see.
And 2 hits, and that's it. The other one is going to choke. Take a couple of honor guard number 4. It's just going to go and just take a couple of swings ineffectively. Honor Guard number 3 is a champ, though, and is going to deal 22 points of slashing damage, and 26 points of slashing damage, and 20 points of radiant damage.
Holy cripes, that's gonna really hurt it.
My Emperor! I will protect you!
I hate all of them.
Oh, and I accidentally preempted Honor Guard number 4's turn, but he was ineffective, so I don't think it really matters. Cheshire, it is your turn. Wrek has been smushed to the floor and is bleeding profusely.
Okay, the really obvious thing to do there is cure wounds.
Starlight form and attack.
I'm gonna start by cure wounding Wrek.
Okay.
If you feel like you're gonna be more effective using an action, I can do a bonus action healing word at a 4th level. So if you feel like you want to go, as long as I'm up, you should be okay to not heal.
Okay.
And if you draw fire, no one else should attack Wrek. But do what you want. If you want to heal. But I know you like hitting.
Well, here's the thing. Cure Wounds is a touch spell.
Ah, yes. Healing word isn't.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So if you want to run right into the middle of that, Cheshire, I suggest it. I think you should. I think...
Actually, Kelly...
Because there's room on the floor next to Wrek.
So this room that we are in, the 2nd level, it's just like an... Other than the stuff coming down, it's like open... we could get to it from here, right?
I'm going to say that it's like a mezzanine, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and it's 70 feet above us.
I believe so.
I just measured it on the map. It
okay.
70 feet up.
Okay, yeah, I just saw it in
the
side chat.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of hard to tell. Like, I don't think the map on the side is to scale, but 70 feet up sounds good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is where the module kind of falls flat, is that it doesn't really do maps at all, but it wants you to kind of have maps. It wants make up your mind if you're theater of the mind or not.
So Kelly, here's what I'm kind of curious about. So if we take the ring into that beam, that should solve problems, right?
It should.
On the 2nd level?
By transporting anybody who's carrying it into the center of Xaryxis.
But that means someone has to go.
That means somebody has to go. So Cheshire's gonna go up to Tana and ask her for the ring.
I don't know if she's just gonna hand it to you, to be honest. I think she anticipates this would be the death of you.
And she would be right. Oh no, we just got word from Kelly that the temple's 400 feet tall. So.
Yeah, sorry, I just found the scale.
Shit. Okay.
Okay, never mind then.
So it's 200 feet to the next one?
It is.
Okay. Then never mind.
Okay.
That erases what I was gonna do.
There's got to be a way up
because I was gonna do something real fun.
I know, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, that's okay because I can do something else. I'm going to instead cast.
So the Astrofont is a 40-foot diameter, 2-foot deep pool of glowing pale liquid fed by a 10-foot diameter beam of harmless blue light, which streams down from an aperture in the ceiling 175 feet. Hold on. Okay, so let me adjust my entire narrative here because apparently I can't read even though I highlighted it and have read this at least 4 times. Okay. So, the Astrofont is a fountain. But the beam of light touches it for the ceremony because that is where the body was fed into. So the beam is all the way on this floor. So that is my error. That is my being a goober.
Oh.
That makes things a lot easier.
So anything that goes into the beam gets teleported into the star.
Right there, yeah.
Sick. Yeah. Right next to us.
Which means that you might want to just revive Rexy and literally throw everyone.
Yeah, quite literally. It's like her highness is about to get beamed.
So
okay.
So let us rewind and let me feel foolish when this goes up on YouTube. And the
she might still be savable and smoochable. You don't know that.
Yeah, kiss her ass goodbye.
Yep.
Valid.
Okay, that. Means this is gonna be different then. Yeah. Oh shoot! I had my thing planned out for doing something crazy.
But now it got easier.
But you know what? Yeah, now it got easier. So she's going to on an area within range. Cast Tidal Wave. On the group opposite where the Empress is, because she doesn't want to run over Wrek with a Tidal Wave.
We're learning.
Because that'd be a bad thing. So, yeah, she's going to do that, and that's going to be 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 10 feet tall. All so right, I should be able to get all of them, I think.
I think you're going to get all 6 of those honor guards. What's my save DC?
Your save is going to be a dex, and we haven't long rested yet, so I'm going to use my Cosmic Omen to take a 6 off of the saving throw of the first one that you roll.
That was a good option. Okay, so this is a dex save?
It is a dex save, my friend.
Okay, so 13.
Fail.
15.
Pass.
10.
Fail.
Nat 1.
Yeah, definitely.
16, 11. So.
16 pass, 11 fail, so 2 passes.
Okay.
All right, and that's going to be 8, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone on everyone that failed.
Okay, 1 sec. 23. 20.
And then half that on the other 2, and they are not knocked prone.
46 on the one that botched.
Yes.
23 and 11. All right.
Oh yeah.
I'm just double checking this game. So. All right. So, 4 of them are swept off of their feet and knocked down by a sudden tidal wave of energy. Tidal wave of water, I should say. There's no energy to it.
Yeah.
And
then bonus action, she's going to transform into a sailor girl. In a magical transformation sequence for the archer form.
All right, sounds good. Oh my god.
And that
form
is
of archer.
Her
Run for 10 seasons. Some of which were good.
That is her turn.
All right, that's your turn, Francis. You are up, as you are now a magical girl.
Cool.
Well, I mean, Francis is a magical
girl. I'm gonna walk up and how do I do? Hang on, I just gotta double check what spells I have. Oh, none of those are thunder. Damn. Okay, that's all right. I'm gonna cast Healing Word at a 4th level on Wrek. So that's gonna be 4d4 plus 3. So that is 4 plus 8 is 12 plus 3 is 15 points of healing for Wrek.
Thank you very much.
Once he is up, Francis will say, get into the light, buddy. And move.
You said get M to the light, not get in, right?
Get in. No, I said get in. Oh, okay. Sorry. That's what I thought. The light. Wait, I'm confused. I thought the light takes us to the top of the tower.
No, it takes you into the middle of the star.
Yeah.
Cool. Clarification required then. Okay, I would not say that. I was expecting all of us to jump in to get to the top of the tower because I thought you said it went right to the top.
It does. It goes all the way to the top of the tower to the crystal and then it goes right through. Right
yes.
through.
Okay.
So then perhaps we'll ADR that in as get M to the beam.
No, just nix it entirely.
The Zonar did
I will
tell us
heal.
to like carry the ring into the beam, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
In which case, Francis will turn to Tana and say, "Who's going?"
Maybe someone who's dead.
Can I make an Arcana check to figure out if it needs to be willingly taken in, or if we can just throw it on a body? Because don't get me wrong, I had the same idea. I was like, can we kill the Emperor and just throw her in? But obviously, I
let me just, you know what? Give me a sec. Give me a sec to review the module, okay?
You know, I kind of think we should do it anyway, because even if it doesn't work, I think I want to know.
The problem is
watch it resurrect her and turn her into a god.
You know, Stunning Strike doesn't actually kill them. It just stuns them.
But
God, and then we can push them in.
But I mean, sometimes these things are like, you have to be willingly taken in, and then if it doesn't work, then we've lost the ring and we can't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I anticipate that's how it works. It's that someone would need to willingly walk in while wearing it.
Because you might have to like go in and be
I'm
like,
spending the drama bomb to make that the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that makes
good.
Because otherwise, I think there's a hole in the module. we're a level 5 monk could literally walk up to Zella and he go, "Oh, here's the ring." Poke, throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like, if you have to like use the ring actively to be like, do not do the thing anymore and like cut off the connection, I could understand that because it's like a connection thing versus
Exactly. Like, it's got to
Someone
be
has to
someone
go in
to
and
take it in on purpose.
press the off button versus someone just throws it into the room.
I will say that like you can just throw motherfuckers into this thing though, because that's fun.
Oh, that's very fun.
All right, so, but thank you for clarifying that. That's very clever, Christa. And I'm gonna give you another cookie for technically broke the module.
Yay! That's my favorite cookie.
Oh, you colored outside the lines. Congrats.
This is why I have so much trouble running modules, is because I read it and I'm like, yeah, but what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this?
It's almost like they wrote this thing in a hurry.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
so I'll say that
the
ring has to be brought in by someone intentionally.
Okay, Francis is waiting for Tana's decision then. Because yeah,
I don't know if I should respond in my initiative or.
Can we talk out of turn?
Tana did just say a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tana's like a paragraph.
Yeah. Okay, can I hold my action then? Because I'm like, Francis is willing, because like they'll hold out a hand for it.
And as that occurs, from the sidelines, the priest who conducted the ceremony will shout, "Hurling a royal ring into the heart of Xaryxis will destroy not only the star, but everything in the system."
Oh, sick.
He means this is a bad thing, but you kind of are like, oh.
How long we got?
What? No, I'm telling you not to do it.
So you're not going to tell me how long we have to get out of here. Cool.
It's an exploding star. All right. So, Francis, are you doing anything else on your initiative?
I'm going to hold an action to take the ring and jump into the beam if Tana gives me the ring, or attack if someone comes close enough to Tana.
Sounds
good. I can do that.
All right, so as that occurs, so at the back of the room, Prince Zaleth will go, "These fiends intend to do the unthinkable. Come to me, my solar dragon." As a second solar dragon appears, Zadali will go, "Wonderful to have you beside me, brother." The prince will smile. Oh, Far from it, sister. We'll mount the solar dragon and immediately fly off.
Oh my gosh!
Okay, he's redeemed. We love him now.
He's just like, nope.
Amazing.
I am out of here.
I just, fuck this shit, I'm out. I love dickish characters. All right, so there's a big Beruga there. I'm gonna try to blast it with a pair of beam attacks. All right. Honor Guard number 4 took an action and was ineffective. Honor Guard number 5 is gonna go laser and is gonna shoot a laser at it, using its Radiant Ray attack. That is going to be a 23 and a 12. Tana, does that hit the...
definitely.
Okay, that is going to be 22 points of radiant damage as, by the power of Xaryxis!
It's technically still up.
Okay, a beam of radiant light is going to slam into it, and...
a blade of armored demon, let's go.
All right. And... so Wrek is still prone. I don't necessarily know that he's healed. I am going to blast the cleric because obviously the last elf honor guard on that side is going to raise his sword aloft, and with his mighty sword he says, by the power of Xaryxis, Francis, that's a nat 20.
Oh, Boise. Yep.
And a 13. 13 turns into an 8.
13 doesn't hit.
Well, it turns into an 8.
Sorry.
19 with my attack bonus.
That'll
Okay,
definitely
I need
do
to
it.
use a dice roller for this. One sec. That is going
okay.
to
Well,
be...
I'm down then probably.
You might not be. How many hit points do you have on your sheet?
65.
You have 7 hit points remaining as 2 radiant beams smash into you for 58 points of damage.
Oh my god.
But you're still up. I used 12
I'd love to write that
D10.
down if I could find my mouse. Good lord.
Squeak. All right, and then we are... oh, I forgot. I have the huge Honor Guard wave at this point. Okay, so Honor Guard's going to get up, move 15 feet, and is going to fire 2 blasts at Tana. Tana, that is good. I miss.
We missed the demon, I think.
Oh, you're right. The
Frank
Beruga,
didn't hit
the
anything.
Beruga does get to act. Sorry, it's on a little subline here. Beruga, go.
It was the double Frank team.
It's just gonna punch beans in front of it because it can.
That sounds like a
I
great
mean, it might
option.
shove that one with the red dot on it into the
Okay.
the ring if it can.
Make me does it have an attack that moves people naturally?
I mean, it has a fist.
Okay,
Not really
so
something
tell
that
you what,
specifically moves people, but it
make
can
me an
punch
attack
stuff.
roll, and then I'll spend a something good happens.
All right, so 15.
Beautiful.
15.
I don't know if that hits.
Oh, 15. I thought 15 was a question. 15 will not hit.
Okay, got 2 more, so let's go for another punch on it. I rolled a 15 again.
Oh my god.
And then let's bite that same guard. Hey, 21.
That's definitely gonna hit. Go ahead and roll me bite damage.
6 plus 4.
Which honor guard is this? This is number
9.
4.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 13 piercing damage. It's the one with the red dot on them that you told us to kill.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a something good happens, and that is going to hurl him in to the beam of light, and you'll hear
Just like a
as he starts
toss.
vaporizing. Yes, Francis.
My spirit guardians are still up, yes?
Yes, they are.
Or they would have been until possibly my turn, in which I need to roll a 30 to 15
That's
damage
fair.
halved.
Yeah,
It's
so
24.
it doesn't really matter because you're not
30.
within
Yeah.
the distance
30
of anybody.
feet?
Is it 30 feet?
It's big. Hang on.
I think it was 15 feet.
A 15-foot radius.
Yeah.
So that other guy I was within 15 feet of, but
Yeah.
the guy
well,
that you wanted dead. Well, they're gone now, so all well.
it's fine. It's fine. That's good.
I should have just stepped forward is what I should have done.
You should have. All right. So,
There's too much stuff. I hate casters.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me just take some other turns. 3, Okay, time to shoot some lasers. Tana, 2 attacks are coming your way. That is going to be 2 hits for sure. Do me a favor. One of the honor guards is going to rush you. Foul beast summoning demons inside of the whatever this place is, the Starlight Citadel.
Your temple sucks.
The Temple of Light. I'll attack you for 12 points of slashing damage.
Oh no, my slashing damage.
And then 10 points of radiant damage because it burns.
Oh no, my
hard.
radiant damage.
All right. And then we are going to pepper y'all. So 2 shots going to Tana. One's going to be a miss, one's going to be a hit as a radiant ray smashes out at you. And this Rachel Ray is going to do 14 points of radiant damage. Another one is going to fire out at... Oh, I think I want to hurt Francis. I think that's the smart option on this. But I'm going to shoot Cheshire because she's glowing. And that's double 19s plus 5.
Oh, those both hit.
All right. That is going to be Cheshire. One of them is going to go, by the power of Xaryxis, I have the power! Bitch! And is going to shoot you for 53 points of radiant damage.
Holy smokes. Okay. Okay, that is, oh boy.
Okay, so, how dare you wetten my armor, fiend? Okay, and then I've got one more, and then it's Princess Zadali's turn. From that angle, I'm gonna shoot Mulj because someone needs to do it. Mulj, oh, that's a definite miss, and that's a definite hit. Mulj, radiant light is going to smash out at you, dealing 19 points of radiant damage from the one at the top here.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, many initiative. All right, Empress Zadali's turn. Empress Zadali has summoned her dragon. Is going to use Starlight Step as her bonus action to get the hell away from you. And is going to... Oh, actually... No, I'm a jerk. Let's do this. Is going to teleport down there, and everyone here, including the one who charged you, needs to make me a Constitution save as she raises her hands, nothing personal, love, and fires a line of starlight energy through her own troop, Tana, Francis, and Mulj.
And meet it. I actually nat 20'd it.
Oh, you'll take no damage at all.
I mean, Tana's got weirdly good con anyways, but...
I'm trying to double check if I have to give me a bonus to con saves other than proficiency. I don't think so. Crap.
Okay. What do we got, Mulj?
Yeah, no, that's the... Well, so nat 1. So 7 or nat 1, however you want to play that.
Was it a 7 or a nat 1?
It was a nat 1. It's just
okay.
I have a +6 to my con saves, but it's
nat 1s are nat 1s always.
Mm-hmm.
Mulj, that is going to be 43 points of radiant damage. Francis, what'd you get?
A 19.
A 19?
If I take any damage,
good
I'm
happens
down.
to keep you up with a nat 20. Because if I kill the
Thank
cleric
you.
now... okay, so that, and then, hold on, I just got to roll for the troop. The troop failed, so the troop is going to take 23 points of radiant damage. That is number... Okay, so it's going to be 30... Okay. All right, sounds good. This is Dolly. Oh god, the rest of the honor guard also acted, so they're good. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Mulj, it's your turn!
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do, because ow, that was an ouch. One sec.
This is a hell of a fight they throw you into. You know what? I have a drama bomb and if something good happens, so... Keep going.
Okay, I have a really stupid idea. Real dumb.
Okay.
Tana has the ring. we know someone has to go into the center of the thing with the ring. Tana Mulj would like to throw Tana into the light.
I mean, she's gonna step
have
in
a
on
good
her
death.
anyways.
She's what?
She's gonna step in on her turn anyways.
Yeah. So Mulj's just like, crap. Let me expedite this, and is going to try and is going to rage, and is then going to attempt to launch ally, give them a boost directly in that direction.
Do you consent to this, Tana?
I mean, she'd rather do it herself, but sure.
Okay, so make me an athletics check to just hurl Tana in.
Yeah, the raging. I have advantage on
Color-wise,
athletic.
while she does that, Francis had held an action to, if someone attacked Tana, which I missed that someone, because I can't see it, missed that someone attacked Tana. I will hold him off while Mulj does this, because it seems like we know that Tana wants to do this.
Okay. Because you had just held your action to take the ring and step in yourself, right?
So I said either I will, if Tana gives me the ring, I'm waiting for that. But if someone goes to attack Tana, I will.
Okay, because you can only do one of the two things on a held action. So I only heard the first one.
Well, I was only going to do one of the two.
No, but you can only hold one specific action as a reaction.
Cool. Then I do nothing.
All right. Well, I mean, you can turn around and like basically hold them off for flavor for sure.
Sure.
So that's a 21 to assist Tana in getting at least closer to the beam of light.
I mean, I think she's 5 feet away. You're just gonna go thunk.
Possibly, yes. Just
okay.
like, oh crap, okay. Just like boost. Just like reach, extend arms, push.
Okay. All right. So the one that stumbles forward, having been radiant smashed from behind, is going to try to stab Tana. Francis is going to bat the blade out of the way with. So Francis, do me a favor. Make me an attack roll versus his attack roll as Tana moves out of the square, and we'll see who wins this.
Not good.
Not good.
No, like a 9.
Like a 9.
See, it wasn't meant to be.
All right.
Now, technically, she's being moved out of that square theoretically against her control, so she doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
I know, it's mostly just for flavor. So, all right. So your hammer comes to bear against this blade as it lashes out for Tana. But I'm going to say hammer is going to definitely take advantage over the blade. Tana, do you step into the pool?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I mean, she might want to say words first, but...
Okay. As you step into the pool, there's going to be a shimmer around you. And I'm going to say that we're going to move out of initiative for a second so you can say something.
Sure. I guess she'll just look a little awkward and say, I wish there was so much more I could say, but looks like I have to go. I bet there's a little more beautiful than the inside of a dying star. Do a little dramatic salute.
And then lean back into it, basically kind of like do a...
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Unfettered radiance tears through your flesh as you are pulled into the star's blinding core. Behind you, all of your allies can hear the sound of Princess Adali going, "No!" as you are sent into the heart of the star. All of you can see out the side of the Temple of Light as the star flares, becoming 1,000 times brighter. Moments later, it is gone. And that's when you see the shockwaves slowly approaching. From nearby, you'll hear Grimzod go, "I think it's probably time that we run."
Yep. Is Tana's book still on the ground?
Tana's book is still on the ground.
I will grab it as we run.
All right. with that, turning around and running, you can see that basically we're at the ending of Spaceballs right now, where everybody is like, Spaceballs! Trying to get to escape pods, looking for a way, trying to get away from these assholes, and so on. And with that, you begin rushing back to your ship. You can see dozens of these soldiers rushing. Princess Zadali screams and tries to board her solar dragon, heading to the skies. Can I get everybody? It's time for skill checks. As you are running away, can you please do me a favor and roll? Ooh, I'm gonna need 3 athletics checks from you. First athletics check.
If I take disadvantage on the first one, can I cast a mass healing word?
I'll say you have a round to cast that before you run.
Okay, I'm gonna do it at 4th level, so I think it's just 2d4, but for everybody.
Sounds good.
Ooh, good. Everyone can take 10.
Nice.
I'm going to use Wholeness of Body to restore 24 hit points too.
Sounds good.
And I am going to use a Cure Wounds on myself to restore. 7, 8.
Hot diggity. I just rolled 3 athletics checks, and I rolled a 17, 18, and a 19.
Really? That is amazing.
Yeah. And I have a +6 in athletics. Holy shit.
All right. So everybody else, I guess I was gonna say give them to me in sequence for drama.
Sorry.
But
I'm sorry. I got up in the moment.
And
Quiet,
then
don't be silent.
Kelly.
Yeah.
So Zadali was hopping on. Would she have to make these athletic checks as well because she's trying to get away?
She's on a solar dragon, friend. She's just flying off.
She
basically hopped on a motorcycle and was like,
check for anything to get away from this?
No, it's a solar dragon.
Oh, so sad.
That's why you pay for a solar dragon. That's like she's basically hopping on and going, I'm hauling ass to Lollapalooza, and just like takes off to the stars. I mean, she'll probably get vaporized. You don't know. All right, so let me see these athletics checks. You heal yourselves and begin running. Francis is going hoot, 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 and basically just like jutting ahead of the entire party, just with these long gift strides. Holy crap, you guys have never rolled this well in your entire life. Sylvester, so Wrek is right next to Francis, being like running, moving his legs like Sonic the Hedgehog, just alongside. Mulj, are you just basically doing like sploosh, sploosh, sploosh? Doing
yeah,
the wave?
I was thinking, kinda. Yeah, I figure they can run at 40 feet, and then they have their teleportation 30 feet, which can boost them even further ahead every round.
Behind you, you can hear, "Roar! I am free! Me, Emperor! Pretty light!"
And
you see the big gorilla monster splashing around in the now less lit
Emperor
puddle.
Frank.
I am Emperor. Splish, splish.
Amazing.
Cheshire's going to wild shape into she's gonna wild shape into a giant eagle with a fly speed of 80 because she's like, time to go. So she's a mechanical eagle now.
Sounds good. All right, you're one of the Silver Hawks. And as you are running dramatically, you're going to hear, "Oh, go on without me." Commodore Kruk says as he trips, "Go, run. That's an order."
You're not my commander anymore, and run back for him and help him up.
Okay. Topola is going to take a, oh god, hell yeah, is going to take a look at Grimzod. You ain't that bad after all. I know. I'm pretty darn good, eh? I ain't doing any running. Hold on. And she's gonna cast teleport. Which is gonna, and then Mr. Flinch is gonna step forward and go, oh, I would have liked to lift too. Oh, bother. And is going to take off running behind you. Wait for me! And he's gonna make it. Against all odds, that nat 20 saved his life. He starts, like, he runs up, he climbs up a bit of that and jumps and begins, like, hand gliding on his flaps.
Nice.
And before long, you are going to find yourselves in the middle of this chaos as people are pushing and shoving. You are dodging and pushing between everyone as you make it on board the second wind. As you are there, you will see a little gate open, and Topola will walk up the gangplank next to you. What took y'all?
Oh, you know, and Cheshire drops fellowship and kind of just lands on deck.
You know, I've never seen a dying star. I think I'm going to go hide on the deck on my own ship. Enjoy yourselves. Congratulations. Killing the biggest fucking vampire in the universe. And Grimzod is going to hold out a hand. Topola, join me. And Topola will turn, look at the last breath. Fine. Call me. And they're gonna haul ass for Lollapalooza. All right, so on board the ship, Starbell, the tree ant, is going to look down and... This isn't good. No,
We
it's
should best
not
get out of
good.
here.
I need a capable spelljammer.
Cheshire is just going to bolt for the chair.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up this time! I want my paint job intact, as well as our lives. All right. So, you are going to hop down to the Spelljamming Hem, and you are going to barely, as you strap in and pop yourself into the chair, Cheshire, push yourself into the Spelljamming Helm and fire yourselves off into the last moments of Xaryxis space. The shockwave trails behind you, riding barely in your wake. You can feel the shockwave beginning to like push and throttle the back of the ship as you continue to push at the 1,000,000-mile-an-hour speed. And as it builds and builds and builds, you will find yourselves pushing into the astral sea right as Xaryxis space expands and then collapses, blinking out of existence forever. Or at least going dark forever. For long, you'll have time to catch your breath. And as you make the long journey back toward your own space, you have a moment to catch up on the bow. What do you all do?
So we're sure we can't go back into that void space of no star left and check to just see if there's any trace of Tana?
If there's no trace of the star, I believe there's probably no trace of Tana.
She was kind of inside it. Right? So, you know, like the center of a storm.
I don't think it works like that.
Can I open the book and grab... Does it have a pen attached? Is it like on a string? Tana?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's like a little inkwell and a feather that's
All
attached to it.
Beautiful. They'll take a little bit of ink and write, Tana, are you there? Is there any response?
There is no response.
Francis will close the book and just shake their head at Mulj.
You know, Francis, you are a cleric. Perhaps with a bit of study, you could find a way to reunite with her.
I'm definitely willing to try. Perhaps we should go home. That was where our connection began. Maybe our connection will be stronger there. I'll study the whole way, but having some more resources might help. Unless you know somewhere better, Crux.
Your home sounds lovely.
They'll kind of shoulder bump Crux.
Besides, I think that's where she would have wanted us to go to check in on things.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I even knew who her patron was. Some eldritch being, from what it sounded like. I'm gonna quickly flip through the book and see if there's a title page.
Is there a title page, Tana?
That has property of blank.
So I think Tana's actually probably kept quite a lot of notes of her sort of journey and purpose in here. So there may not be a title page, but there's definitely going to be descriptions of important moments in her life and all of that stuff. Y'all feature heavily.
Who was her patron again?
So it was the keeper. Although the way that I've sort of envisioned it is that it's the gap between stars, or not the keeper, the seeker. That's the journey, right? The interstellar journey.
Mm-hmm.
And change, which I feel would be very motivated to deal with a vampiric star.
Okay. It's going to
actually, the book probably starts with a description of her being escorted at sword point to a waiting ship, looking over her shoulders past the disappointed face of her friends and her family towards that damned star, knowing that one day she would see it snuffed.
If nothing else, she completed her journey.
Wait, what does it say in there about us? She wrote stuff about us. I want to know what she said. She's very,
let's see. Oh,
she's very tight-lipped about a lot of her intentions with what she was keeping us around for.
Entire page about Wrek. Loud, annoying, smells awful.
That doesn't sound like her. I want to see that. Show me that. I don't believe you.
You can't. We'll hold it up. Put one hand down just on your head, holding you out of the way. The wind ends up on top of me. Tosses it to Mulj.
Look. What does it flip to a different page, as it's in the air kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, this is. What language is this? Flip. I can't read this.
Yeah, maybe I can't. Maybe it's an Elven.
Probably is an Elven or Celestial.
Yeah, I read common and giant. So I don't really read
goblin, so Mulj's just but if there's any pictures or drawings, Mulj's gonna start flipping through it.
Yeah, I think it mostly be an Elvish.
Mm-hmm. Did Tana take any sketches or anything though, or diagrams?
Not good ones, but totally.
Excellent. I think this is Francis.
Big
It's
circle
like a hippo with a gun.
And as you're looking
that was
through
when I
it,
got my gun.
the pages are going to start turning in your hands.
Whoa.
until it goes to the spine of the book and opens in your hand. And then you're going to notice that all of the stars in front of the ship have vanished. And you're facing a black void. But it's too late to correct course. And you plunge into the void. Can I get a wisdom saving throw from everyone?
Who Boise? 17.
All right, you're good.
6.
21.
21. Rex
26.
Okay. Mulj, you and actually, Mr. Flinch is fine. You and you and Commodore Crux are right spooked by this. What in the blazes? As you punch through this inky void, and bits of it cling to you like mist. But as you come through the other side, suddenly you'll see stars again. And soon enough, more things come into view. A world. A beautiful little marble beneath you. Circled by a moon. Perhaps another. And a ring slowly forming of basically a far belt that's just beginning to form around it. You recognize Elos. And from space, you watch the crystalline vines finish collapsing.
I think Francis will reach out to both Crux and Mulj and hold their hands to calm them a little bit. We're home.
You sure about that? Because I mean, we just went through some weird, inky, void space, and we could be anywhere.
No, it's definitely right. I remember it when we saw it the first time. Look at it. It can't be anywhere else. Look how round it is.
And maybe we have Tana to thank for that. Not the roundness, but the getting here. I mean, maybe she's way more powerful than any of us thought, and she's actually responsible for the creation of our planet, but I don't know if I want to give her that much credit.
No, I don't think any of us deserve that kind of credit.
Well. Shall we take her down?
Yeah.
You'll hear over the thing. Where do we want to put? Where do we want to land? Cheshire's voice from the Spelljamming helm.
Where's a place that has a real good library in Elos?
A place that has a real good library? There are quite a few.
Dogrun had a pretty good one, didn't it?
Dogrun has a pretty good library. So does Kaymore City. So does honestly the Temple of Antiquities in Arcos is pretty solid.
That sounds good.
All right.
Arcos.
Do you want me to do a check to land this thing, Kelly?
No need.
Okay.
You sail off back toward Elos to have a long-deserved drink, a study, and to plan what comes next. There are many things that happen in the future for this crew. Mulj and Wrek become best-selling authors.
Again!
Time there. Francis makes many friends. And perhaps, accepts an invitation to go travel the stars to meet more Gif. To his credit, I think Crux handles himself well when brought back to the giant parents. He survives with only a few broken bones, which is pretty standard for an initial giant encounter. Cheshire eventually makes her way back home to the plane of order and is promptly evicted. She doesn't like it there anyway. Last we heard, she was gallivanting around the Feywild, becoming something of a celebrity. How often is it that you get a mechanical being who's that much of a floozy? And as for Tana, well, some people say that on Elos there are shooting stars that carry the souls of those who have passed. On the night that Tana, Starbell, fell into Xaryxis, it seemed like the entire sky was filled with them. And for many years afterward, the people of Elos celebrate the Starbell Festival in honor of the night that the stars fell and cleaned the world of the astral vines. Eventually, it will just be known as the Starfell Festival. But all of you know the truth. Maybe someday she'll even come back. But that's another story. What we do know is that far away, inside of a darkened chamber, we can hear the sound of hard-soled shoes approaching a podium. The sound of boots saluting with a "Emperor!" as Princess Zadali and her younger brother approach a podium, with the glowing world of Elos projected above it. "My sister, what is your plan?" Zadali sneers. "Revenge. And let's make it sweet." And I think let's call game there.
Ah! Oh my god.
There you go. I did not expect you to hurl her into the damn thing. Like,
me neither.
So do you want to...
Mulj feels like, wait, what do you mean he's dead?
It is the most in-character choice you could have made, and I love it.
Literally.
I thought you were all going to have a Black Widow Hawkeye fight.
I was expecting it too.
Christa?
What I was expecting to do was like where Zadali was. Like I had Gust of Wind all ready to go here, and I was gonna try and use it to launch Zadali into the stream.
Oh no! No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All good. No, it was perfect. I love that choice.
That was great. It was such a cool thing to do.
Imagine if after we all split ways and kind of go and do our thing, like eventually just being like somehow like all reconvening and being like, all right, so we went and did all these things. Now what? You
all want to go get kicked out of an Applebee's together?
like fast forward like a year, 2 years, and they're all like the crew's back together again, still carrying like the book around or something, and then like getting kicked out of taverns and banned from towns again.
Well, they have to meet up on Elos. They have to meet up in that tavern every year to give the book to the next person, and it goes around.
Yeah.
And so
like,
and then when it's all done,
siblinghood of the traveling book.
Well, and then you just have to find a cleric to cast a level 7 resurrection.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, and
just gotta keep adventuring. It'll be fine.
Do you need any of the body for resurrection? You need 1,000 gold pieces for it.
I thought you need at least
For
one
true
key.
resurrection, you just need to know their name.
Oh.
That's true.
I mean, we
Yeah,
could
like,
probably
you can-
find somebody to do
Yeah.
that.
I'm just like also kind of imagining that like while it's in Mulj
that's
or
ninth
Wrek's
level, yeah.
possession, it gets written in with like doodles and like little excerpts and like notes and things of what they've been doing.
Yes.
So like there's probably chunks of like terrible fanfic lines and prompt ideas
Yeah, you
like
need to
written
touch
in
them, yeah.
Goblin, just like
True
scattered
version.
throughout.
Oh, no,
Maybe
my
some
ear.
doodles. You know.
Wait, Wrek would be obsessed with
free to
trying to
hang
get
out.
it translated because he'd want to know what Tana's actual
Instead of
thoughts of him are.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Tana-
Overall, pretty positive.
Tana, what does it say?
Right.
I mean,
Well-
primarily positive stuff, difficult to control. Probably who you want to have you break you out of a jail. Terrible taste in food and beverages. Abysmal fashion sense, except for the boots.
The boots were great.
The boots were great.
All right, so folks, that's going to be it for Spelljammer Light of Xaryxis. But I think let's take a break and let's come back and do a little bit of a how-to chat about the campaign.
Sounds
sound
good to
good?
me.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to de-wig or anything like that, you're more than welcome to, or de-hippo as it were. And we'll be back in 5. Don't go anywhere. Hey folks, we're back. This is the part of the program where we're going to talk to the chat and analyze the ending of the campaign. So while we were away, we were looking up resurrection versus true resurrection, and Kat looked it up and discovered that true resurrection is written very poorly because you touch a creature which has been dead for no longer than 200 years and that died for any reason except old age. The creature's soul is free and willing, blah, blah, blah. It can provide a new body if the original no longer exists. In which case, you must speak the creature's name. But, so then you can't touch it.
Yeah.
So I guess it means you either touch the body or speak the name.
I think that's...
It said if there's no body, it provides a body. You just have to touch
Yeah.
a dead body that is not. It doesn't have to be Tana's body. You just have to touch a body. So
We
let's
got
go talk to
plenty of those.
Christius. Find a body that hasn't been used or
What is-
something.
okay,
Or just
here-
talk
Or
to
make
a-
one.
I really wonder what
Oh, God,
Christa's
just make-
dying sounds like.
I'm sorry, I just got really excited about that.
Just touch a body! That's
You know
not
what?
being used.
Body.
Actually, Francis, what level
Anybody.
spells can you cast?
3rd.
You know, you just level up a couple more
Right now.
times.
Fourth,
You can cast.
I lied. 4th.
So you level up one more time. You can cast reincarnate because I'm assuming that this book has like a sample of Tana's hair in it. Or Tana, did you write with this?
Oh, I'm sure.
Did you write this book in blood?
I mean,
think
no, but I'm
once.
sure there is blood on it. She's been stabbed a lot while holding it.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that a piece of a dead
Hers.
humanoid.
I-
You could cast reincarnate on
I
Tana.
guess it might
I'm
take multiple
imagining-
casts because it may not all be her blood.
Yeah, I'm
But-
having
Oh, God.
imagining also like checking each page.
You know,
with,
we're
like,
gonna
suspicious
epilogue
things,
this
being like,
shit
is this
right
ketchup?
now. We're gonna
Okay.
epilogue this shit right now. I'm gonna let you guys are all gonna level up. Which means,
Just so I can get resurrection.
Beautiful.
well, you can get it or Kat can get it because it's a level 5 spell. And at level 9,
All right, because
you get level 5s, right?
Can't they?
So here's
Yeah,
the deal.
'cause
I'm
druids
gonna
can get it
roll on
too.
this. Okay, what's your
On the
favorite
on the
color
resurrection
for your
table?
character, Millie?
Wait,
Green?
what are the options?
Green, blue, red, yellow, purple. I got tons.
Let's do yellow. That's closer to like a sun.
I will have to grab my other dice. One sec.
Haha! I have chosen the least convenient option. Consider yourself
Mhm.
bamboozled.
So
I'm
monks
gonna
at
roll
9
to see-
level can now run up vertical surfaces and across liquids.
Oh
So
my god!
I guess he's been
Correct.
hanging out with Mulj long enough now that he's like, liquid's not a thing. Watch me run across this ocean.
The only
Nice.
thing that I get at 9th level is the 5th level spell slot.
Which means that you could take reincarnate.
Yes.
So either you or Francis can cast this.
Or we can get together and joint cast it.
You do a
Yes, joint casting.
Okay, reincarnate.
What did you get? I got the chart up.
I have it up as well. I'm looking at the there's a better version of it that has a bunch of the weirder races in it.
Oh, fun.
So I'm
I
just
get invocation at level 9. Fancy.
Okay. So Millie, you may roll percentiles as well, and we are going to compare.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, hang on, I'm rolling the Moomin dice. We're doing Moomin dice activities.
Mm-hmm.
We got Moomin Mama and I guess actually Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa dice. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I have a 48.
Okay, so oh God. So you either are coming, so you're probably coming back as what I rolled. You're probably coming back as the most dangerous creature in the galaxy. A human.
Oh no.
What was 48 though? Just
48 is either a
curiosity.
Goliath on the expanded chart or a rock gnome.
A rock gnome.
A rock gnome.
I want a rock gnome.
I mean, wait,
Garignac.
Rock gnome could have the ears again though.
Hmm.
Nah, you're coming back as a human.
All right, fine. It's gonna be very good to be a human.
Tana wakes up as a human. Ah, man.
Ah, dang it, my ears.
We
They're
roll.
so small.
Yeah, stab, try again.
It's only 1,000 gold per. We could keep doing it.
We just keep
I mean,
going.
we have good money.
Mm-hmm.
We could
I mean,
just keep
Tana's
killing
got the
Tana.
resources to try a couple of times.
We're like,
I mean, I guess
"Alright,
no,
Tana,
she was
how do you like this one?"
vaporized, so maybe she doesn't.
Yeah,
All
Tana,
right, so
what do you think of
Tana
this one? I
will
like
be
it.
coming back as Hannah Starbell.
Oh my God.
sounds
Because
good,
you
sounds
never
good.
see
Legally
Hannah in the same
distinct.
location as her other alter ego.
Yeah, because the alter ego is dead. That's very convenient.
Right.
Is it gonna be
So
weird at
convenient.
this annual festival when you show up for kind of the festival for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only a bit.
And then you
She'll
just
change
get
her
to,
name to, like,
quietly listen.
Terra Star Hell. Let's go.
Star Hell.
I mean, you're basically becoming Star-Lord at that point. I'm down with that.
Mhm.
All right, so
Yeah.
folks, let's go through the list and talk. So we know that you're going to be coming back. How did everybody enjoy Light of Xaryxis?
It was
was a
good.
very
Overall,
fun
I thought it
ride.
was
good.
pretty fun.
I-
Yeah.
There are definitely some confusingly written points that we've run into, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But and I do agree with what you were saying at the beginning of this game, that the name,
Yeah, right?
maybe could have been something a bit cooler.
Light of Xaryxis is okay. It just seems like it could have been way cooler. Yeah,
I mean, like, what were we saying? Light of the Vampire Star?
yeah.
That was
That's
metal
pretty
as
good.
hell.
Like that would be pretty dope, especially because they put together like a Spelljammer like Spotify list officially, right? Like it could have been way cooler because it's like a lot of prog rock. They could have just leaned a little more metal. Do you want to hear the alternate ending?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
So, they assume somehow that you're going to fight the Zodar. The Zodar is not going to kick your ass. And then you will all... So if the Zodar is reduced to 0 hit points by the previous chapter's trial by combat, it regains 1 hit point. At the same time, any unconscious characters regain 1 hit point and wake up. If they did not engage in trial by combat, the Zodar floats into view immediately after either one of them is hailed as the new emperor. Unknown to Zelithar Zadali, the Zodar was tasked by a previous emperor to bring about the Empire's destruction if someone of corrupt heart ascended to the throne. The Zodar believes that time has finally come. And that is why. So Zodars are basically tasked with a divine purpose. And they get 1 wish spell before they die. So their wish spell is that you regain all your hit points. You also receive the benefit of a greater restoration. which I was like, no, you're gonna full rest. Even with a full rest, all of your spells back, I took you, like, I could have taken the entire party down if I'd concentrated fire a little more tactically.
Yeah, or in one more round.
I was like, well, and if the solar dragon had gotten a higher initiative, like if Kel hadn't spent that, something good happens. I could have party wiped you with one hit with that solar dragon.
Yeah, they do way too much damage. Like those, like the guards are way too. The guards
have a ranged spell attack that does 46 damage on a hit, and they get 2 of them per round. Or pardon me, it's not 46, it's 40-10. It's 40-10.
You dropped me twice just because you got crits.
Yeah.
I don't have a single spell that does that.
And I get 12 of these honor guards, right? So it's like, what the shit? So the fact that they expect you, well, the way this is written out,
gradient.
Yeah, basically. So what they essentially expect you to do is the Dying Wish, which is the Zodar being like, save me, and then you have to obtain a ring, and then when the characters have at least 1 ring of shooting stars in their custody, they must decide whether to destroy Xaryxis or spare it. If the characters seek the counsel of their allies, I think the game went the way it naturally was. I think that in their mind, it was supposed to be a whole like, give me the ring, I'll jump in. And like, right? And it's supposed to be an action set piece. But the way it's written in the book is that it's like, you defeat them and then it's like, what do we do? Who makes the ultimate sacrifice? Da-da-da, hug, say goodbye. Because there's all these points where it's like, you can pull your allies, and it's like Commodore Crux is like, Xaryxis must be destroyed. Think of the empire's wiped out. Flinch will be like, hey, mercy, guys. Like, man, like my look, I don't care about Xaryxis space. I just don't like how revenge like turns people into things they're not. Looks at Crux. Grimzod is like, no, blow them the fuck up. Look, the Astronauts have done way worse than blown up a star. Fuck them.
Are we supposed to have comrades in this fight? Like,
I guess like you could have had them in. I actually had them since we got through like 1.5 rounds of combat, or 1 round of combat. I think we only got through 1 round of combat.
Barely.
I actually had at the end, all of your allies were going to join in at the end because you guys were getting your ass kicked so hard. So I was going to have Grimzod and Topola and them be like, we're free of our binds. Blah, 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 blah. So they were going to kick ass, but then you threw Tana in. So I was like, all right. But here's the weird part. So Warwick Blastomoff reminds Warwick wasn't a character. The fact that he's in the module kind of is weird. He seems extraneous. You weren't in the game where he showed up.
We go on like a whole adventure to collect him.
Okay, that's where
he didn't really have too much going on afterwards.
He never comes up in the module again in the written form. So, and it seemed a bit redundant to have extra, jolly GIF being around when you had all of these other diverse characters. So it was like, you're kind of extraneous, bro. And then the other thing is that like you're all captured. They have a time for you to ask Starbell what you think, like the treant on the ship. So I think maybe they're trying to cover their bases because you can just take the ring and be like, bye bitches, and teleport out. In which case you can fly into the heart of Xaryxis. It takes 3 days to get there by ship, but you can't just go and pilot your ship in and do like basically a kamikaze, right? Which is a pretty dope way of doing it, really. Like, you sacrifice the ship, you do that. So, and then there's the whole thing of once the star's exploding, the Magister is like, hey, we can move the Imperial Citadel out of Xaryxis space and into the Astral Sea, but the Magister won't give us the authority because neither the Emperor or the Prince, or the Emperor or the Princess, depending, won't give them the final authority to save their people. So, he's like, well, without permission, I'm not going to save us, which is kind of funny. I kind of love that.
Yeah,
because he's such a stickler.
Pretty funny.
Because neither Zidali or Zeleth will do it because it means admitting defeat.
Hey, this building's burning down, and you could like tell people to get out because the building's burning down, but the fire marshal hasn't like okayed it. So technically, like, you can't really do that. So just lock the doors and leave them in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's the humane thing to do. You're technically correct. The best kind of correct. So no coming back. To destroy Xaryxis, someone bearing Zeleth or Zidali's ring must travel into the heart of the star, either by ship or via the astral font's light beam. Which, once again, I can't believe I messed up the astral font because it just didn't make sense to me. Because at first I was like, yeah, that's what it's there. And then I'm like, oh no, it's the water. Because there is water there. But I think you have to reach the middle of the font to step into the beam. And because if you drink the water, it gives you a 7th level cleric spell of your choice. Anything up to 7th level. Yeah.
Fuck, I should have just gotten in there.
You should just drank the water. Or you just go,
yeah.
Just in the middle of battle. Like, oh man, I'm so thirsty right now.
All right.
I just need to go get a...
Speaking of thirsty,
free resurrection right there.
Do you want to hear the alternate ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, the alternate good ending is, it is, everyone realizes, a journey from which there is no coming back. If no character volunteers for this mission, Grimzod Garganhale does. If the characters allow Grimzod to sacrifice himself, he says, I hope you all appreciate the irony of a vampire flying into the sun.
Okay, that's dope. Yep.
He then,
wow.
He then entrusts his crawling claw to Topola, saying, never let it be said that Grimzod Garganhale failed to give a lovely lady his hand.
Oh my god.
And then he goes into these...
This is entirely just for the puns.
It's just for the puns.
Fantastic.
So yeah, then he goes into the trip. It's the same. So you can also spare Xaryxis, but if you spare Xaryxis, your planet dies.
Yeah.
So. And the beautiful thing is that even if you kill Zeleth and Zidali, they each have a clone, like off-world.
Of course they do.
Of course, it's not that expensive of a spell. So like they always have a way of coming back, even if you destroy them. I thought this was pretty good. I really actually love the pacing. My only complaint with this book is that the last act, the last 3 chapters are like 1.5 to 2 game sessions long. Like if you were playing this at a table, the first ones were normal length, actually.
Yeah.
But like once we get into Xaryxis, it's like a session, maybe a session and a half. And they expect you to draw it for 3 sessions. Like it's weird. And it feels like it was kind of done abruptly. Also, the maps suck. The maps in this book are really like they're not aesthetic. If I had more time to remake them entirely, I would have.
There's a reason that the Strixhaven maps have all been redone.
Exactly right. Like the maps are really bad, but I love the flavor in this book. What about this would you have changed? What about this didn't work for you? Let's go in a circle. What did you love and what would you have changed? Or what did not work for you? Or suggestions that you have for other players or game masters? Who wants to go first? Anybody have any options?
Okay. The radiant damage from all of the astral elves was nasty. So like I was just trying to think what has resistance to radiant damage specifically. I'm like, I don't know, like an ASMR or something.
Certain
like
ASMR.
What else has resistance and how would you even counteract that? Because that was awful. Just if it's meant to be brutal, it's meant to be brutal. But I'm just like, were they expecting more people to be able to navigate that? I don't know.
I don't know, actually. Hold on one sec. I have an idea about that, but I might be wrong.
While you look that up, I would just like to say that if I was granted a 7th level cleric spell, I would oh no, I'm the wrong kind of cleric for it, but I would love to have cast reverse gravity and just have all the guys go up, cut it, they go 100 feet up in the air, and they all fall 100 feet.
That is literally if you watch
that got used in Shards of Nirn last.
Yeah, because Robin's playing a Graviturgy wizard. She killed like all of my mounts in one round of combat. I was like, you dick.
It's beautiful.
It was so good.
I really want mine and Michael's characters from our little one shot in Shards of Nirn that we played to show up, mostly because my onomancy wizard, who just reincarnates every couple hundred years, to come find Tana and be like, hey bud, I know what you're going through. Do you want to come hang out and live forever by reincarnating every once in a while?
Sure, sounds chill.
So I was just checking. I was wrong. I assumed that astral elves had radiant resistance in the Unearthed Arcana, and that they had just forgotten to update it when they published, but they don't. They have a bunch of different stuff. They have a trait called Radiant Soul, but that's it. So what else has radiant resistance? Like ASMR, all damage.
I mean, it might have been nice for the game to give us ways to resist that, like pieces of armor or amulets or some kind of a magical item where we can have like key players who are resistant to radiant damage to give us an edge. But we didn't really have a lot of downtime to like do shopping. Like I think we had one.
I guess you could have. It's that weird thing where they think like this module is designed to be ran at a solid clip like an action movie. Mm-hmm. But they kind of assume that you're going to take a bunch of side quests to go and like go shopping episodes and stuff. But if you do, you violate the spirit of the module. So your players and Dungeon Master are less likely to do that.
Yeah. And it's like if you know, like right off the bat, like we made good gold selling that spelljamming helm, and then we never had a chance to actually spend anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we had the chance right there, but we didn't know what we were up against at that point. Like,
yeah, just because it didn't allow any time or I don't know, like the want to pause what we're doing, save the world.
Yeah, there's a ticking clock.
Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, we have we have to get there as soon as possible. Let's just go into, this world to go do some shopping for a day. Because we can just take a day, right? No.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's weird. It also is really big stakes. Like, it's really big stakes right from the beginning, which is great when you're trying to get an action movie underway. You're like, okay, we need to go. But like, when you actually stop to think about it, I've had to talk myself through it a few times where it's like, why wouldn't you guys are the only ones who can stop this? This is a pretty big thing that like run-of-the-mill like soldiers can do to a planet. Does anybody else have like high-level characters or gods that could take care of this? Because the gods and Elos are a bit more active than that. They do stuff, usually with cataclysmic results, but if someone was like trying to set fire to your house, you'd probably stop it.
Yeah, like I feel like especially the gods that we have,
they're like non-absentee landlords.
Yeah, they'd be like, wait, someone's trying to kill the planet? I don't think so. Bud.
That's where we get our money.
Of the gods on Elos, which one would be like, if we were most likely to go fight us, like go
Vela.
Destroy a star?
Vela.
Was most likely to fight these star? Vela's a bitch. Like Vela would just be like, get out of my hood. I think probably Arcaris would probably do something. But he's a little busy right now in the timeline.
I was thinking of like Kaz, I think. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Kaz or Kazmareya probably would, either depending on what hat she's wearing that day.
Exactly.
I think that like a higher tier adventure. I think that ending you at level 8 for the stakes that you're up against is a bit low. This feels like the final fight should have been at like level 10.
Yeah, I think I would have been able to a much more reasonable challenge at a slightly higher level.
Like, yeah, because just some of the big fights...
the idea is we're supposed to be scrappy punks, right? Like, we're not supposed to be quote unquote heroes.
Yeah, but against
we're the rebellion versus the empire.
Yeah, that's like for the story purposes, I like it, but for
the mechanics, like it only works if like.
It's bad.
Like I was going pew 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 the entire last fight, but I've got a +6 to hit. on 24 attacks per round.
Yeah, I know. I was desperately looking, like, do I have anything that's
What's
like
my
an
max
area
output?
of attack? And I don't.
So if my average damage per round, if I hit every time, would have been...
Yeah, this is just with the 12 honor guards too, not the dragon or the prince and
so
princess.
Holy shit, that's great. So my my average output on just running it through a dice roller was 490 radiant per round that I could have distributed among you. That's average rolls. I've got a lot of ones here. Also, anybody who wants to, go type 96d10 into Google and just watch how beautiful it is when all those numbers... It's just...
Like, with that average damage, divided among the 5 of us is 98 each.
Yeah.
Cheshire only had 59 hit points.
Yep. Yeah, that kills me twice over.
I had 80.
That would have killed every one of us, actually.
Yeah.
Just that average. That average.
I also say, like, you should warn your players if you're running this game. Okay, I don't want to turn this into just like our opinions section. I want concrete thoughts on this. And my concrete thought is you should nerf down some of the radiant damage or raise the character levels when you're going in, just because it's too dangerous. Like, unless the characters are incredibly optimized and really dig in, or you include the NPCs as backup characters, which if you do, I strongly recommend using the model we used in Call of the Netherdeep, where you assign one of the NPCs to a player so that you don't have to run 13, 14 characters on the opposition and allies. Like, let the players do the heavy lifting. Who cares if they get to see what the stats of a gift shipmate are, right? It's an allied character. Have fun. And, like, I think that if I'd run it again, I would have done that, because I think, like, for example, Wrek ran in, got KO'd after stunning striking, and then immediately gets to play as a character with a frag grenade. I think that would have been a lot of fun for Mike, to have that additional, like, well, especially if you can give someone who, like, normally plays a wizard a tanky barbarian, so they get both sides of it. Like, that feels real fun.
It's fun.
I also agree.
I'm doing that in another game right now too, where we each have an NPC, and it's really nice for, like, tactical coordination as well, because you can cover yourself. So you can have your character who has defender come in and do this specific thing while your spellcaster does something ridiculous, and it can be really nice tactically.
I agree. Like, that sounds really great. I also agree with the chat right now that says Halcyon Zeta saying that this module is wonderful for DMs because it requires minimal prep. I could do all of my prep in 20 minutes or less for this game usually. And I only made, like, one major mistake, and that's just the fount thing this episode, which I still feel foolish about, but I mean, it happens, right? It was literally one line of text, maybe two. But the other thing that I really think from a structural standpoint that you need to be aware of as you're going into this game is the last 3 episodes are all about, hey, players, I know we just spent 3 episodes building up to this, but none of your efforts matter. I'm also going to beat you down and take you prisoner.
Yep.
And then I'm going to beat you up and take you prisoner. And then I'm going to beat you with overwhelming odds. Like, those are literally the 3 fights. The Armada fails unless you get a critical success somehow. Then you're taking prisoner. Then you fight the Zodar. The Zodar at your level has a good chance of party wiping you. At which point you're dropped to 0. Yeah, and it won't kill you. It'll just knock you to 0 because it's not a violent creature. Yeah. So if you're running these as individual episodes, that can really leave a bad taste in your players' mouths. So be aware of that. I was really tense about that going in because I'm like, oh crap, I actually thought you were going to win the space battle. And then you guys lost horribly. And I'm like, oh no. I really like that the module wrote in there that there were reasons for taking you hostage. Yeah. And that they wouldn't just kill you.
I have a question. Did we have to go to the one-on-one fight in the ship? Like, did we have to get boarded?
So the way that it works
because that was I don't know what anyone else was thinking, but I was thinking that, like, the whole purpose of us because I think I think we talked about that. It was like we came in behind sort of the spike so that once it dispersed, we beelined it. So I was expecting it to be like we didn't participate in that fight. We beelined it to Xaryxis, to the city, and then we sneak in. So I thought that was the plan. And then all of a sudden we were fighting someone and it was fucked. So I was like, oh God, what's happening?
It's because of this line in specific. So the enemy armada, blah, 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 is surprised. However, when the two fleets meet in battle, the Xaryxia singles out the character's ship while the rest of the armada engages in the other ship's combat. So the ship specifically hunts you down no matter where you're going to fight with you.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, if they're gonna force that combat, I might as well give you guys a surprise round to let you be tactical, right? And
no, we still got mulched.
You still got mulched because the it's not really a good. It's not really a good fight.
And see, with this like high energy thing, having it be we're beelining it and they're chasing us and we're throwing ballistas and shit at them and they're throwing at our ship, that would have been a lot more fun, I think. At least for me, I think that feels a lot more.
I think it would have looked cooler in the mind's eye. I think it definitely would have.
Yeah.
So.
Other than like we floated up and we stopped next to these guys and we're like, okay.
The moment I felt like my balloon was really deflated was when we had to do that arena battle, and they're like, "Oh, yes, you must fight, for the glory of whatever." And we're like, "Okay." And it's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm not the one fighting. Here's my champion, the cocaine bear." And a cocaine bear comes out. We end up kicking its butt, and it's like, yes, now I have Cocaine Bear's bigger brother, and then he comes out, and it's like, wait, we're still fighting. And then they're like, oh, and now here's a 300-foot long Godzilla millipede. Keep fighting that. And we're like, okay, so we're really pacing ourselves, and we're like all like burnt down to the nubs. And then suddenly the prince shows up on his dragon, goes, and now another fight. And it's like,
well, you don't have to fight the prince. You can submit.
Okay,
let's be fair.
Anyway it goes, we just went through 3 fights, and he was like, well, feel free to give up now. It's like, as a player, I'm like, how much, like, just tell us to jump in the meat grinder. Don't tell us, like, here's another fight, here's another fight, here's another fight. By the way, you don't get a long rest. Here's another fight. It's like, okay, just tell us to give up. Don't be like, hey, keep having another fight.
I think the thing that really upset me, and I think something that, because I kind of felt a similar way. I don't know what everyone else like, but I think if there was more support mechanically from the surrounding peoples when the prince showed up, I think if because we entertained so well and because we did so well, I feel like there should have been, because like I feel like when you're heroes of the galaxy, there's a point, especially in this kind of a point, where like the crowd turns, and it did that for us, but it didn't.
Thanks to Bruno Bambino.
Yep.
I feel like we did a lot that just didn't actually do anything. It was like, oh, that's cool color, but wait, that didn't help us, and now it's done.
Fair.
And a big one like that for me, at least, was we go to all this effort to get allies for the big armada fight, and it doesn't really do anything. We get all the allies for each one of these, and you did say that mechanically it's one ship on each side dies each round, right?
Yeah, so it's one ship on each side dies each round. Yeah.
And so it's like, if you don't get everybody, then you're out of luck. If you do get everybody, you're out of luck. It just the way that was written just didn't really seem to flow that well.
Fair. Yeah. Now, Millie, you had something to say real quick, and then
I guess it didn't.
Amy.
I feel like that was sort of the theme for the game, is that there were things that we did that didn't really have an impact mechanically for the module. Like, I think even early on, like we're talking about the shopping episode that we had, because we go fight some spooky mind goos. We get a whole Spelljammer helm. That's amazing. We have so much gold. That's fantastic. But we're like level 2. We don't really have anything fancy. We can do with this at this point. We don't have any. Yeah, I guess we're 5, but whatever. We don't have a lot of information for what we're up against. We don't know that we're going to need to desperately purchase resistance to radiant damage. We have no real intel for any of that stuff later. And then later on, we, get a whole character that we go on a jungle adventure and fight a bunch of things for, who doesn't show up for the rest of the module. And then for the naval thing, like, we raised an entire fleet, but we could have just gone ourselves. And it wouldn't really have changed the game or the outcome.
That is kind of an oof.
Yeah, like I had a lot of fun with it, absolutely. But I think it's a lot of fun.
But it was
a lot of fun.
But it isn't like it's popcorn. Like the emotional back end, it's that whole like, well, how did they get plans for the Death Star? Like type of like, once you start thinking about the plot, you're like, what the? There's a bunch of holes in the logic. Amy, what did you have to top on?
Well, because we were talking about the big fight and like all the getting the allies for the space armada combat, and I was just thinking, what if instead of just automatically doing a 1-to-1 destruction each round, that if we had, I don't know, just for like at the end of each round, if you like going describing like, oh, and to the side, one of your ships makes it through, and like describing the actual or like space fight for like that visual effect. I know it's a lot to add into combat, but that could be really cool. Or having it as part of the players having to roll to see if your fleet survive, like whether or not we succeed, or like we roll for our armada versus them, and like to see if there's any difference there.
Maybe
I agree.
Like that could be really cool.
That would be really cool.
I was kind of thinking back to like to the Dog Run Bridge fight where we had like our little like troops that we were like kind of responsible for. It was really cool.
Everybody got a story.
Yeah.
The chat is saying that it feels a little more old school than current 5e modules, and it did feel like a dungeon crawl set in space with fight after fight. And someone else said, "Oh, well, it's a B movie, so it doesn't have that type of component where you shouldn't think about it." I'm like, well, no, it's not so much that you're thinking about the plot holes, I suppose, as when you finish it's a satisfaction thing. At the end of the module, you had fun, but it didn't really resonate. Like there wasn't an emotional component to it, in that you felt like your choices mattered, because that's at the end of the day, you want that valuation, right? Like you want to feel validated for your choices, where you're like, oh, well, but I made a difference, right? And it's like, well, did your choices make a difference? Or were you just, in a lot of modules, like yesterday's Call of Netherdeep, no spoilers, but I feel like at the end of that, everybody felt like they made, like their character made a difference, and if they hadn't been there, something way different would have happened. But in this one, it's like somebody would have stepped into the beam no matter what. Like there was only one solution, there was only one way to do it, and it was all, someone's going to step into the beam. Which kind of leads me to think of the shallowness of this module. This is Star Tours. Like they wrote this thing, the Armada only exists so you meet 5 different races and like cultures of people. You go onto the derelict spaceship just so you can meet this. You have the encounter with the Red Dragon Gith just so that you can meet the Gith in space. And it's all of these, like, it's a fan service thing. Like this is very fan service.
Right, I forgot about the Gith. Like
who just shows up and is like,
been able to win them over.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
It's to show you the Gith. It's to show you the Githyanki, right? Or the Githerzai.
They exist. Woo.
We could have just like thrown up a bunch of images and talked about it. Like we didn't have to go through an entire adventure and go, look at this cool thing. Okay, on to the next cool thing.
Yeah, and the chat's right now saying that they think that it probably would have worked better as like a tabletop board game. I think so. Yeah, I think that they should have done this as a war game instead of Dragonlance, because Dragonlance's battle sequences work totally fine as a tabletop game, like a role-playing game, versus like the tabletop board game they put out. I don't know how that thing runs. I didn't want to pay the extra $150 or whatever it is in Canada. Someone's gonna be like, it's $79.99. I'm like, well, so are groceries. So is gas. But like, imagine Space Battles would be good. I think that they should have just gone whole hog And if they wanted to make your characters cooler, they shouldn't have had the Armada. You should have just had to Death Star it. You should have gotten captured. You should have tried to sneak on, gotten captured, and then then the plucky thing would have, I don't know, it would have been way smaller.
I thought that's what we were gonna do.
I'm sorry. I feel I wish I had.
Like, just,
but again, like you would have had to change that all.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting the stormtroopers to all have lightsabers.
Lightsabers that shoot lightsabers.
Actually, yeah, shooting lightsabers. Like, damn. And one other big thing for me, like especially being a major sci-fi person that really likes space stuff, is what was the space combat with the other ships. Just the way that like it's put in the book and like the weaponry that the ships get and stuff, it just feels very lackluster.
Well, and
Check the boxes.
You're touching right now on something that a lot of people had issue with Spelljammer when it came out, that like they're like, wow, 5e watered this down incredibly. And is that how you feel? Like it's really like it feels a little slapdash to you?
Yeah, like, you know, like you're on this ship and the only weaponry you get is a ballista on the front that, yeah, granted is, you know, good at poking holes in individuals, and then you get the rock that chucks the tree that chucks the rocks, which is cool, but it just seems so like in a world as hostile as someone that's run by the Xaryxian Empire, I would imagine that people would put more effort into defending their ships.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you all a quick question. A ballista.
How
much damage does a ballista do?
2.
I mean, in 5e or in real life?
In 5. So here's the deal. If the way this is designed, do you know what you really want to do to have the best ship possible if you're in the Xaryxian Empire? You strap 2 honor guards to your hood.
Oh my god.
An honor guard does 1d10 more damage than a ballista per hit.
Jesus.
A mangonel, which requires 5 crew members to operate, and does 5d10 bludgeoning damage at a much higher range than the honor guard. But the honor guard gets 2 attacks, so it actually gets, if it hits both, it gets an extra 3d10 of radiant damage, not bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So in theory, what you do is just have the honor guard stand on the deck as you strafe another ship, and they all just go like, boom, 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 boom.
Well, yeah, exactly. Especially as someone who really likes like
that is always the question in modules.
Yeah,
it's like in Dragonlance, all of the weapons there deal an extra points of fire damage because they're evil weapons, and I'm like, you can't touch them because you're not evil.
Is there another 5e module with ship combat?
Very little bit in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Very little bit.
I thought it was a different one.
And then
there's
otherwise,
a Pathfinder one, isn't there? I don't remember.
Yeah, there's tons of Pathfinder.
Pathfinder has one.
Yeah. Then there's also like a few like not like Wizards of the Coast ones, like Spaceships and Starworms, that has a lot of focus on space ship combat.
And Spelljammer, not Spelljammer, Starfinder. Starfinder has tons because it pulls out the hex square.
Tons.
I'm just thinking like, and you're like, how are you? The weapons don't seem like they're designed to take out other ships either.
No.
Well, because the way that the ship combat works is that you compare it against a ship's, basically its natural armor, its toughness rating, and then if it doesn't deal at least that much, the ship takes no damage.
So how if we just strap a whole bunch of cannons to a ship?
Basically.
Why did they not do that?
That brings up another point that I just thought of. When we were trying to take out another ship's spelljamming helm, we couldn't because it was a magical artifact. Yeah. So we couldn't damage it. Yeah. Ours got taken out in one hit.
That was a magical effect. So the way that works is there is a specific type of creature that can nullify spelljamming helms. It's built into their power.
Of course there is.
Why
So
did
we
we
should just
Specifically.
kidnap that thing.
Let me double check what that thing was. Yeah, just hire it. You're like, we'll give
Just
you
like, hey.
gold.
Yes, come.
Oh yeah, so
let
it
us-
was the
let's be
aesthetic.
space pirates.
It was
Oh,
the
right,
jelly,
yeah,
it was
the
the doom
aesthetic.
jellyfish.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has Jammer Scream. It targets one spell jamming ship and shuts down the helm.
So you chain 2 of those to the front of yours and tell them to get to work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That was
Descent
interesting
into
because, like,
Avernus does have vehicle combat.
Yeah,
Their
just hire some
vehicle
vehicle
ray
combat
guns.
That's
in
what it
Descent to
was.
Avernus is sick.
yeah, and I think that's what I was thinking of too.
Well, the
It's
vehicle
interesting because
combat.
I think there are some like side scenes in this that feel like they don't really matter too much, like, you know, fighting space sharks or finding those really cool space whales and having that whole like transportation scene that I think really do add something to it, because that was such a cool piece of like setting
was
and it's a bit of
so cool.
downtime. Like that was really, really cool.
You get to interact with it though. It's not like they're
Exactly.
just like, hey, I'm a gith.
Yeah. And I do feel like it got weirder towards the end. Like
Yeah.
I feel like earlier on when we had stuff like that, because you could say the same thing for like, you know, meeting space brain squids, that it's just a random thing, but it was like an early encounter. We got to explore a whole thing. We had a whole like conversation about morality with a brain goo dude. That was really
Great.
neat as heck. And then later on we have like combat, meet a dude just for a showcase.
Yeah, I think it gave me a lot more room to improv. Like the morality thing was a discussion. Like that was a Dork Tales original right there.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that, like, you're right, the time dilation at the end definitely causes trouble. Christa.
Amy had one too. Go ahead.
Oh, Amy.
Yep, you were first. Go for it.
Okay. I was just going to say, without spoilers, I feel like there was a thing in Netherdeep that, depending on what you do, you end up at the end with a certain number of times you can use advantage. And there's a certain number of things that you can do. I feel like all of the collecting of people and all of the side stories and all of that kind of thing, I think if there was one mechanic that just gave you X number of rounds of advantage or X number of advantages anybody could use based on how many people you had at your back, I feel like that would have made everything worthwhile. Like all it needed was that, and be like, okay, this mattered.
Yeah. So if you're like, to move away from the realm of opinion on this and move into hard facts, if you're running this game, start counting how many people you befriend over this, and definitely bring them in for callbacks. Definitely have them matter. Make the player choices matter more in this module, because I don't think the module really accounts for that. And me trying to run a very vanilla version of this meant that I didn't account for it as much. I should have. I feel like I could have done more. And Mike, to answer your question, how many hit points does the Elf Emperor have? An Elf Aristocrat has 103.
So what kind of level are they working at? Because I feel like
challenge rating 8. So
And there's two of them at 25,000 guards.
One of them will just fuck
dragons.
off immediately, though.
True.
Which I love. I love that they're just
That
like,
was very funny.
Yeah. Just like, oh, it's good to have you by my side. Nope.
do you want to know how many? Hold on. Look, I'll just count this real quick. So, let me pull up the honor guards. So, the honor guards. Okay, total number of hit points in this fight. I said 105 for the aristocrat. 103. Okay, and then the
That's a good
solar
point,
dragon.
Andrew, in the chat.
What's that?
That this module seemed like the complete opposite of Witchlight, where everything in Witchlight mattered, and there was a lot of tracking to do there, whereas this didn't give a shit about any of it.
Yeah,
because I'm just trying to track the numbers. Because on average, I was outputting about 25 hit points of damage every turn. So even if I were like one-on-one with the Emperor, that's like me beating on them for 4 turns. So I'm just trying to gauge, like, trying to figure out the number economics of this many people fighting each other.
Okay, hold on. Almost done with it. Plus... I'm assuming the solar dragon has been summoned. So to totally defeat... I'll round up. You'll need to do 1,400 hit points and damage to take them all down.
Holy sh...
Oh.
Well, because each honor guard has 93 hit points.
What?
Right.
Jeez Louise!
Then maybe they should have given us something more powerful than a ring of shooting stars.
Yeah.
Like
so that's
the
kind of
biggest. Yeah, its biggest ability can do like 10 average damage in a 15-foot square 3 times.
So that's like 12 rounds of combat, and that's assuming that we took 0 damage every round.
Yeah.
Oof.
So kind of in that same scenario, so that armada, just thinking, if you did have it, so you could have if you're not having your allies in the fight, if they manage to somehow get away, like Topola and Grimzod, etc., like if they manage to jump to another ship kind of thing, like, and it's just your party that gets captured. I'm kind of imagining this scenario where you could have the party go in, Grimzod, Topola, and Crux or whatever manage to keep what's left of your armada going, and they come in for either a rescue or like that Death Star kind of idea where you're captured, and while you're in that big fight, they come in with an aerial bombardment kind of attack to go after the Citadel. So the honor guard has to go help and deal with that before your big fight happens, so there's less guards.
Yes.
Like,
or alternatively, the temple
cool
gets
scenario.
blown up and it's like rocking and there's like things and people are exploding and then you have to be like, take the ring. Alternatively, you still have the ring, you learn it, and then you have to do a trench run and fire Tana into the beam.
Because like they might assume that you're all done for. They want us, but they're like, crap. Now we've got the attention of the Xaryxian Empire on all of us. This is we're not going to escape. We might as well go for it. So if they're trying to just cut their losses, destroy the temple the best they can, or cause a distraction because we can't communicate, there's a way that this could have been really cool cinematically and could have caused hazards for the other side too. And I think
I want to real quickly, I want to commend you all as players, because it is one of the hardest things in a role-playing game, particularly Dungeons and Dragons, is playing with players who will surrender or run away from combat. Players definitely always have the mindset of, we're going to win no matter what. Even when we're dead, we'll win, right? And it's just, I'm guilty of it. You're all guilty of it. You're guilty of it. Yes, you. Everybody's guilty of it. But you guys did that a few times where you're like, well, we can't win. Let's surrender. Hope for the best. Let's have faith in the story. Let's have faith in like the way that the game's going to work. And that's a huge compliment. So thank you for doing that. I think that takes a lot of restraint. That said, I don't think a module should expect you to do that 2 to 5 times.
How many times did we get captured?
I don't even want to count. I think that would require too much indexing. Like it would be like 3, 4, 5 times that you were put in a place where it's like, so be careful when you're running this. There are a lot of snags. I think it's a lot of fun though. I think that this overall, until you get to the end, is one of my favorite little modules to run. It's a hoot, but it really feels like, sorry to do the feels like game. This was rushed, and a lot of the writers that were working on this probably were working on other projects at the same time and missed stuff, because this came out not that long after Call of the Netherdeep came out, which was a huge book. This came out right around the same time as, I think, Strixhaven came out not that far before. And
Amy just pointed out that someone else pointed out that the captain that we came off of Elos with.
Yeah, who knows what happened to her?
Happened to her?
I don't remember her name.
So Sartell, Captain Sartell.
Right,
I had to delete a director's cut scene where you guys were going to meet up with her outside of Elos's orbit. If you hadn't just been like, well, let's go home, I was going to have another ship float by and be like, "Hey, you guys want to haul ass to Lollapalooza?" Like, I was gonna have her be there, but you guys left on like a sweet note, and I'm like, okay, cool. No more adventures into the great beyond. Was there an insane amount of errata? I tend to not check errata unless there's a glaring problem with it that I see, because I figure that if you publish it, you should have a working product. But I'm old. I used to buy video games when they were complete too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let's look up the errata for this. Okay. Is there errata?
I think really at the end of the day, like you said, like it's so much fun. It's got that B movie vibe. Like it's got that Flash Gordon, like silly, over the top adventure vibe to it with all these wild alien characters. It's a lot of fun, but I think, and I don't know about you guys, but I felt I was having so much fun until the end. And the end was like, okay, well then what did we just do this entire adventure for? Why didn't we just come here at second level to get defeated?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, because I this was like my favorite module up until these like last couple games.
And like here's something, like just harkening back a bit to like ship combat, for instance. I pulled up my Spaceships and Starworms core, and just looking at some like the damage that in this case, like a single person tiny class fighter, it has two different attacks that it could do, and one of them is +6 to hit, and it's 2d12 +3, and the other one that it gets 2 per day is 6d12 +3. And it's like, that's getting into some serious damage on something that's like one of the weakest units in this game. That's designed for fighting. And even like there's a freighter, and it does 2d12 +2 damage in an attack. And so like, yeah, like a shuttle does 1d12. And here they put us in like a space galleon that does less damage than an honor guard.
Oh,
galleons do a lot of fucking damage.
They're ships of the line. Like they're like 100-gun ships classically in Earth on Earth. But still, I looked it up just because I wanted to see some kind of comparison, and it's like, wow, this is guys.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So Kelly, if you're looking for
magic and but
I think new erratas in both chats now.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. So I found one errata that said that they removed the fate of Xaryxis, where basically like the whole like, we shall not admit defeat, that very British stiff upper lip, we ride the Titanic down type of thing. They've deleted that from the newer version.
Deleted. Yeah.
So here we go. Light of Xaryxis. Let's see. When elves attack, Hazardy have been placed with the Hazardy shipmates have been replaced with plasmoid explorers. Yeah, it probably makes sense given the controversy there. Okay. Yeah,
I think that was step 1.
They changed the word golem to duplicate. There's discussion on why they did that. Humanoid faction has been updated to a hat. So they swapped the human faction from the one who's like, are you a floozy? They switched them for a Hattazy faction, probably to cover up for their big snafu and to give more Hattazy representation.
I mean, and agency is a key part because they don't have any throughout the entire story.
Yeah, that's really true. I tried to make Mr. Flinch kind of his own dude, but yeah.
Well, because there's people working on these boats. You can have a guy working on the boat. Like
exactly.
He's a
it doesn't have to be like a So they got rid of the second sentence has been cut. What's the second sentence? Hold on.
I was just thinking, like, Mulj meeting a bunch of plasmoids would have been dope.
Yeah, there were 0 plasmoids.
I was the only one.
Yeah.
Also, there were no other glitchlings.
No.
Oh, that's really
Or
weird.
what kind of goblin was Wrek? Wrek was like a space goblin, wasn't he?
No, he's just a regular goblin, really.
So
I thought it was a special class from.
No, I just turned him red.
Just turned him red.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Okay, so and the other thing. Okay, so the astral font now takes place. You have to start to end your turn in the beam rather than start your turn there, which makes more sense that they specifically did that. I have a complaint about the errata. Okay, and so it's this big thing. I want to give you 2 options. Death of a star. You go into the star, you blow up, and then all of Xaryxis space is destroyed because its star implodes. Okay, that is the core version from my purchased version. Okay, they have rewritten it so that it is instead, blah 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 blah. Hurling a royal ring into the heart of Xaryxis will destroy the star and everything within 100 million miles. That which survives will be plunged into darkness. So they changed it in the errata so that it destroys the citadel, but the rest of the planets there survive but don't have a sun. So they're plunged into darkness forever. Basically so that you don't have to destroy a solar system. I'm sorry, have you seen Star Wars?
I legitimately didn't even realize there were other planets.
Yeah, I could have talked about them, but it's literally like there's a couple of rocks. Like there are people on them, but it's like they don't count. Actually, do they count? Who's on there?
Count.
Also, like,
those are Umber Hulks.
Supernovas. Like supernovas do a lot of damage to the solar system that they're in. Read as the solar system that is in no longer exists.
Well, and once you don't have a sun, it's like they're plunged in darkness. They're all gonna die.
Yeah, very quickly.
And actually, spaceships and starworms, again, bringing it back to that one, they have a race that specifically lives on a rogue planet without a sun.
Rogue planet.
Fun. I love it.
And they're basically Natasha's.
So like there are things inside of the Xaryxis space. So they added a bunch of like they're this many million miles from here. Blah, 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 because like the other worlds in the system are inhabited, kind of. They're mostly like not. Like you guys did blow up a solar system, which I can see why some people might be sensitive about blowing up an entire solar system. Like that's a big genocide right there. But also it's a sci-fi fantasy epic, and who doesn't want to pin a feather in their hat saying like, because Millie now gets to say that she killed an entire solar system,
which is pretty cool.
Like it's a nice feather.
And they give you an option for mercy.
They do. You don't have to, but then your planet dies, so it's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, there's really an in-between. Like, you can't even seize the throne and target a different planet if you wanted to.
Oh, that would have been dope.
Maybe you could. I don't know. But that would have been pretty dope.
This errata is kind of weird.
I also just looked something up, too. And if Xaryxis was our sun, and we blew it up, for the wording on that errata, is it would barely, astronomically speaking, it would barely touch Earth. That's how small the star dying is on a solar
is that
scale.
presuming that it is a yellow sun like Earth?
Exactly. It does not,
because this is a white hot vampire sun, which sounds like a Paul Rudd movie. Let's go see White Hot Vampire Sun.
White Hot Vampire Sun.
Well, I feel like if it's a vampire sun, it would be even
that should have been the name of the campaign. Spelljammer, White Hot Vampire Sun. Someone make a T-shirt about that.
Isn't that the new Nicolas Cage movie?
I'm gonna go see that movie 12 times.
It looks so good.
Is that out yet?
It will be.
Those were pretty funny looking.
I'm adding that to my to-do list right now. White Hot Vampire Sun. So, guys, give me 2 grades. Give me a grade for the module. Give me a grade for your enjoyment of the game itself.
What's our scale grade? Like, or are we doing alphabetic like numbers?
Do we want to do alphabet? Do we want to do Michelin stars? How do we want to do this? Do we want to do how raw it is? Like, what do you want to do?
I gotta ask you a big question first, though. Yeah. So, where in the Elos timeline does all this take place?
I have no idea.
Because it would be interesting to like Shards of Nirn for like one day for all these like weird tentacly like vines and stuff to just show up for no reason, and they're like
just for like a week.
Yeah, part of the background for like a week, and it's like, this is causing a lot of problems.
I feel like it's post Nirn. I feel like it's post Nirn pre Emrys. I feel like it's in that gap somewhere. Because
where's Arcos fall?
You'll find out.
Because we're going to Arcos. See this weird ship land from flying?
I mean, I guess it would be kind of. Oh God, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. I was trying to sweep that under the rug, Mike. Why you do this?
Just had the best thing. It was a weird week. We don't talk. It was
a weird week.
Vines popping up, and we just kind of like blink at it.
It took you guys like a month and a half to do the adventure because of all the downtime between worlds. Where you're like, that is the other thing I really don't like, is that there's a lot of downtime in the module where you're just like,
twiddle our thumbs while we're traveling.
We're on a ship for 10 days, which is great for roleplay, but real bad if you are wanting to get on with the game and like go to the next set piece, right? So it's a lot of stop start. It's honestly like a trip to it's Star Tours. This is a trip to Disney World where you wait in line for 10 hours, and then you hop on a ride that's real fun, and by the end of the night you just keep riding the same ride over and over into the combat ride. And by the end
I'm just thinking like when you have to travel and you have to travel for a long time, that's exhausting even if you're not doing anything.
That's
like
true. Everyone take levels of exhaustion.
But like I don't know if after traveling for 3 days, I would want to go have a nap.
Fair.
I wouldn't want to go and save the world.
I'd have to give you the grade of like a B-, like if you were the host on this Star Tours trip, because I feel like you would regularly go off script because you're like, well, look, this is the garbage I'm supposed to say, but let's liven this up a bit. Like, hey, look at this cool star over here. Guess where it originated from? It's supposed to originate from blah, 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 but instead, let's say it's just a giant thing of cheese. Why not? I'm like,
wait, so you're giving me a lower score?
No, like B- because I think you've like upped it like because of that reason. As far as the
you stuck too close to the script. Corporate is very happy. Is quite happy with you.
Yeah, corporate's glad that you're like pulling the line, but
all right, I'll take it.
Wait, so this is a user review, not an employee review, because those are two very different things.
Yeah, that's true too.
Just let me know what you thought.
Performance review, I give you a 5 out of 5.
I thought you were going to say 5 out of 10, and I was about to turn off your ping. I was going to be like, good night, Amy. Bye.
I don't know about you, but I've always found performance reviews were either out of 5 or on like a weird scale of like A, B, like C, C-, and you're like, this is the weirdest grading scale. Like, why is there like 3 ranges in C, but then it's a B and an A? Like, what are you doing? This makes no sense. So like, I would give you pretty solid for enjoyment overall. Like, awesome. The module itself, yeah, I'd give it maybe like C+ for just the module as
like
it existed,
it's
because now seeing that there are 2 separate erratas and how much errata there is, I'm like, okay, you did not hand us the final draft. I understand.
And the final ending is a little toothless. Right? Like, that's kind of weird. All right, Christa, what'd you think?
I would like to give you a exceeding expectations, because it was very good. You did very, very well.
You just like that I romanced you as a hippo.
Oh, yes. No, I think especially given what you were given, I think there were definitely some areas that like might have I think we all, as we've said, would have enjoyed like really going off script, but it's hard when you're doing, like, I mean, the reason we do these modules is to review them, so we have to kind of stick to them as close as we can. And so I appreciate that effort. So rather than giving you a P for proficient, we will give you an exceeding expectations based on the module, which I would give in development.
Is that a
yes
thing?
I have been graded on this exact scale.
That's weird.
Because your skill is in development. It's like you're not doing bad.
I thought because the module still looks like it was in development when we ran it.
Well, it also affects that, yes, but no, I have been rated on that scale before.
Okay.
Developing might be the word.
All right, Kat or Mills?
Do you want to go first, or should I speak, Kat?
Go for it.
Sure. I mean, I feel like I actually really quite like the setting for Spelljammer, so I would give the setting separate from the module like a pretty good B. The module I'm barely going to give a passing grade to. Like, this is a low C. But I think that you and the crew brought it up to a B plus, at least for playing. That was pretty rad, and I am honestly quite impressed with how solid I think you were able to make this story. Because I've skimmed it like as we've been going along, because I have a copy too, and it is not my favorite, but it was a lot of fun to play in. So
I like the concept of I like the way that they kind of conceptualize the pacing. Like, I like the idea.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that too. I like the concept. I like the idea stage, and I think the execution was pretty bad.
All right, Kat.
Yeah, so your storytelling, as always, is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
And
I'll take it.
I mean, like, you know how often I love telling you how much I absolutely love being in games that you run, because holy smokes, you're amazing. You get a far exceeding expectations. Like, you know, like, fantastic. Absolutely.
You've gone so good into good that you're never going to get a promotion because you're too good.
Oh, no.
We're gonna keep you where you are.
Oh no,
you're too good at your job.
I'm a maverick. I'm top gunning myself.
Exactly. Why haven't you been promoted in 15 years?
Because I like to fly.
The module itself, it was fun, and I really liked the concept of it. And until the last 3 chapters, it was really cool, engaging, unique. Granted, I'd make some changes to it, but I really enjoyed the first while of it.
Yeah.
But that last like 3 chapters that were just so confusingly and poorly written, and stuff, just kind of was a slap in the face.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sure you'll enjoy the next game even more.
Now, granted, that isn't to say that I haven't enjoyed the last 3 games, for instance, because of who we're playing with.
Oh, yeah. We can turn
that is purely that is purely a reflection on what I think of the module itself.
Totally.
The cast is phenomenal, and our DM is phenomenal.
I enjoy.
Or,
as
I heard in a song once, phenomenal.
Phenomenal, Amanita. All right, I agree.
I would actually really love another campaign in this setting. I think there's so much cool stuff that you could do with Spelljammer. There are so many options.
Yeah.
With all of the stuff that they Star Tours us that they didn't go into, that could be so cool to explore. I would love to hang out with Plasma.
You know what?
Glitchlings and Githyanki and all of that stuff.
Join the Patreon and I'll run another Spelljammer game for Extra Life.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, do it. I'll run an episode. I did the same. I dared them. So join the Patreon, damn it. In the meanwhile, I just want to thank you all for playing. You guys were a lot of fun. Spelljammer has even though it's the middle of the day on Sundays, it has always been fun to wake up, get prepped and ready to do this. I think I would have more fun if I were homebrewing this or designing it from scratch, or able to kind of really go out of the box, because it was very fun playing with all of you. You're all great. I hope you had fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I think as much as as much as I know for me, as much as I said like, oh, this has been frustrating, this whatever. Like I said, and as Kat said, like it wasn't until this last little bit that it was like, wait, we did all these things. Why isn't this coming into play? What's going on? Why like we had so much fun. We did so much cool stuff and none of it mattered. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, and for those of you who are running the module, feel free to join our Discord. Hit us up if you have any questions about like bumps that we specifically had. We didn't like take questions before this because I didn't know how long this episode would take. I knew it was going to take between 1 hour and 4 hours because you never know with players. So if you have any questions, and please weigh in. This has been more of an informal like debrief for this than an actual how-to. So these are just our opinions on the module. Spelljammer overall, like if you can get a cheaper version of the rules, do it. The box set might be a little expensive for what you get inside of it. The module's fun and is a good way to spend with players, particularly those who are more casual and don't really care about things like ship combat, which is kind of rough in a ship-based thing, you know? But yeah, join our Discord.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, though, I want to interject here real quick before we head out and just introduce Greg, the sponsor shark. Hey, how you doing? You should go to our sponsor, Bookwyrm Games. Bookwyrm Games will save you lots of dough while getting lots of dice. I like dice.
What?
Delicious dice. So go to Bookwyrm Games today. That's bookwyrmgames.com. Spelled like a worm, not a worm. Got it? Good. Use code DorkTales2023 to save 10%. Wow, that's a lot of percent. And shipping is free if it's over $100. I've been doing a lot of these ads this month, or at least this Malouk has, so now I'm doing it. Enjoy Bookwyrm Games for sponsoring us. Thank you, Bookwyrm Games. I'm going back to sleep now. There we go.
Please
For a
do
million
this
years.
for every
Okay, what just happened?
Greg the Megalodon.
You haven't seen Greg the
What
Meg?
just happened?
It's Greg the Meg.
It's Greg the Meg. Hold on. Like, you haven't seen this? Is just our thing. This is in every episode. Great. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
I've never. Oh my god.
A Megalodon that howls. It's a weird Meg.
It's a were Meg. Sorry, he talks too long. Hold on. Let me take care of this. Shut up, Meg.
Oh my god.
It's just like, essentially, it's a wolf in the ocean.
Boo! Oh, man. So yeah, go to Bookwyrm Games, save 10% with using code DorkTales2023. Michael from Bookwyrm Games has been a fantastic sponsor, and their dice are really cool. Go check them out because they help us exist and continue to do what we do here, because Dork Tales is a full plus time job. Which is why I also want to take a moment and thank everybody who signed up for our Patreon. In particular, some of our biggest patrons need to be called out right now by name. I'm calling you out, Soul Omen, for being a world builder. How dare you build so many amazing world components for the Shards of Nirn coming up in a week or so. I also need to call out my mom. How dare you give birth to me and then have the audacity to be a divine producer and still not come up with a god for the setting, because I don't think you understand the tier, but I appreciate you for being in that tier. Precarious, how dare you be a demonic producer and not send me your demon name so I have to make it up on the fly and none of the players realize it because they're silly. Tammy the Forever Cleric, how dare you not make me make more spells for you, you wizard of the Patreon. And I'm not even going to get in. You know what? I am. You can't hold me back. The High Council of Patreon. How dare you?
Kelly.
I'm gonna do it. Taryn and Traveler and Buddy and Triselta and Amethyst and Cubby Gummy and Raven with Baubles and Karasha Urquhart and Drew Thompson and Sergio. Oh, Chef Aladeth. Ooh, and LaRue and Sorcerer Sanguine. And Mike Baxter, how dare you let me make a living spending time with my friends and bringing stories to random strangers for their comfort and enjoyment across the internet. How dare you? Good day, sir.
Thank you for daring to do this.
Thank you so much.
I do like the framing of daring though, because it is specifically really bold to support Dork Tales on Patreon. It's actually
I'm heated.
And cool.
That's my hot take. Wow, my shirt's really
possibly
open.
Romantic even. I don't know. I'm not an author.
Chick Hughes. If you also want me to be furiously in love with you, like a very hot Latin love, like I'm in a telenovela, which you can watch on our Patreon, the telenovela game.
Just change?
What's that?
The buttons on your shirt just change shape a little bit.
Well,
oh dear.
They changed?
Oh no.
Reaching terms of service.
Wait, isn't that the cover of the new novel that Wrek and Mulj were working on?
Oh yeah, totally. What was it called? I used to be a storyteller, and then I got isekai'd into my fantasy world.
I think that's happening in Christa's game on Tuesday. All right, so folks, Chef of the Death, I called you out personally. I see you in the chat. Oh, hey, thanks, buddy. I called you out too. Actually, I see a lot of people that I love in the chat right now. Hey, folks, I seriously mean it though. Thank you so much for spending time with us and for enabling my poor life choices, which are good life choices because I get to spend my time with you and I get to spend my time with you. Some of my favorite people on the entire damn planet, which is good because this planet is not covered with vines, so we have no reason to leave yet. Yes, you.
Accurate. It's good. Vines aren't real.
Join the Patreon right now. Patreon.com/dorktales. Where as little as $5 a month, you can watch not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, like 4 or 5, 6 games a month, something like that. It's definitely at least 4. 2 episodes of Strixhaven a month, an episode of Radiant Citadel coming up starting next month, an episode of whatever I end up running that month or more, and then an episode of Mage the Technocracy. So that's like 4 additional games you get in advance. I also have a behind the scenes podcast that you get access to once a month for free. Well, for part of if you're a $5 patron or higher, you get that. And there's a bunch more things that I'm going to be rolling out soon as just for fundraising efforts to make more money because life is expensive. And then, yeah, so that's going to be it from us. If you have any questions from the chat, this is now when you ask them. What are we replacing Netherdeep with? Netherdeep has already... Has it already been replaced?
Netherdeep being replaced with
Shards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shards moved into that spot.
I know the time lock got kind of shuffled because part of it was when Dragonlance started. I don't know what it was replacing. Was that something was replacing?
So right now,
Dragonlance was another.
Yeah, Dragonlance. Yeah. So here's the schedule, just so everybody knows. As far as I know, the schedule presently is Monday night, Strixhaven bi-weekly. Okay. Tuesday, Shards of Nirn, bi-weekly, the opposite week, so that people can get a night off to like cook meals for the week and stuff. Because this isn't a full-time gig for everybody, unfortunately. So while I can cook meals for myself during the week and like during the day, but like it's not, everybody needs extra space. Wednesday is weekly Dragonlance, which is a module that we're running until it's over. I think it'll probably be between 25 and 35 episodes long at this clip. So it'll be for a while. Thursday nights and Friday nights are my nights off usually, unless there's a special event. Saturday is bi-weekly Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, which is bi-weekly largely because one of our players does a lot of SCA things, so we work around her schedule. And then Sunday is going to be Arco starting next month. In the future, there's talk of another game starting in May, June. But I want to make sure that I know the system we're using well enough to feel comfortable running it on stream, because I don't want a bunch of people being like, that's not the rule. Like, you know, I want to be good on rules.
Are we still talking about Star Trek at a certain Patreon level?
Well, if we get 8 more patrons and maintain them through the beginning of next month, that's the thing. We are going to be getting a once a month Star Trek Adventures game ran by that one right there. Miss blows up a solar system.
See, she's prepping.
Hang on, I have an important addendum. 1 second.
Yeah, what's up?
But you should keep going. I'll addendum in a minute.
Oh, I see. Yes, that addendum. And then what else do we have?
We're off-screen recording for a couple of things on the alternating Tuesdays for the foreseeable.
So there's
Mondays
more Hunter the Vigil.
are alternating. Strixhaven alternates on Patreon 1 week, and then the next week we usually air. It's gotten a little rocky because we had to move a session, so we're a little behind on the public releases. So what happens is Patreon gets stuff 3 months in advance, or so.
Yeah. And then we've got our Patreon games, which is first Sunday of every month is Technocracy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when Radiant Citadel is.
Radiant Citadel is going to be on Sundays as well, so that we can keep Jen. The art for that's amazing, and it's almost done. Then that's going to run, I think, the third week of every month. She just posted. Robin just posted. Hi, Robin. And then mine runs whenever I can make time, because I record stuff off stream so that I can focus, and then I edit it later. So we've got more Hunter the Vigil coming in the next week or so, hopefully. I'm delaying it tonight because my voice is almost dead after Netherdeep. We were going to record tonight, but I think I'm going to blow my voice out if I do it. Because you can see how many times I've been swallowing throughout the last hour. And I'm starting to get that. I can hear it. I can hear the tinniness. And then Demon the Descent is going to be running soon, and that's been publicly announced. And there's potentially a Scion game down the line once I figure that out. And then we're also in talks with a company to potentially run another little short run, but nothing's in stone. I want to keep us pretty flexible. And then down the line, there is a game another homebrew game that's slated to start in November, December after Arcos ends. That's going to be wild, man. It's going to be great. But there's tons of other stuff. So yeah, definitely support us. You get your money's worth. Seriously, do it. There's also a behind the scenes table recorded podcast that we do, called Dork Tales the Podcast, that I have 15 episodes recorded. I just have to edit it. Which is just,
it needs to come out. I want to listen to it so bad.
It's real good, guys. It's really lewd.
So good.
It's really lewd. And you haven't even met Amy's character. Amy's character is ridiculous.
I know. That's why I was like, I need to catch up and listen to Amy.
All right. So, and then Millie, what were you going to say?
But turns out nothing. I thought I had a very silly prop, but I don't. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
I was all ready for it, but then it was organized into a box.
Okay.
Tragic.
I know, fully doomed.
Does anybody want to announce any projects or anything? I want to say that I am guest podcasting on our teammate Jen's brand new podcast, Paradox, a Mage the Ascension podcast, which is available soon everywhere podcasts are made. Jen is going to be making little smaller rules episodes, and then larger episodes I come in and we talk about Mage the Ascension. So please go check it out. It is Paradox, a Mage the Ascension podcast, and it is live now. So definitely please look at that and give her some likes, because this is her first podcast ever and it's really good. She's a very good audio editor, and she has one of the sultriest voices when it's in podcast that you would ever expect, and it really blindsides me. But she is a librarian, so that makes sense.
There you go.
Like it's actually really good. So go check that out. Yes.
Just since we're talking about Jen, because the podcast stuff is being mentioned more and people are talking about it, I went and snuck her in a little channel in the team member channels on the Discord so that people can go and talk to her specifically about the podcast right there with Jen. She can deal with all that.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to promote?
I mean, I guess you're joining me for an upcoming project, which will hopefully be getting off the ground in the next month or so, which is an all VTuber D&D, because I'm secretly violating the sacred VTuber oath by showing you a particularly high definition rendering of my VTuber face right now. But if you want to see Kelly as an anime boy, there will be. That's
right, baby. I'm becoming a VTuber.
I'm still working on getting your hair just right, but we're getting there. I mean, we give you multiple outfits once you get the hair right.
This is a good
I'm
look.
pretty excited for it.
I
It is
need more
legit a
things
good
with
look. I
lapels
think I might
like
need
this.
to
This
change
makes me
your.
look.
Oh,
When I
Lapels are
was
amazing.
young, I ate
wishing that I
4
was
dozen
like a
eggs.
2D artist, not a 3D artist, so I could just like draw you another jacket. But I kind of want to model this one now.
Do it. You need that one and the Witchlight one.
Oh yeah, definitely the Witchlight
Fox
one.
VTuber. What
It's
would
true,
my
Fizzy. I am the most high poly bunny. I'm sorry. My ears are cleverly disguised by the green screen, though. I had to paint them.
I didn't know you were poly. I got Christa with that. But I'm Tish.
Where's my pin? Hang on, I have my pin. I don't know if it'll
Polyarmory.
show up. It's my favorite pin. Polyarmory.
Anyway, there's so much great stuff coming your way, and I'm going to drag all of these people back into a bunch more games in the near future. I think you're really going to like it. I want to thank you for sticking with us through Spelljammer, Light of Xaryxis. It's been fun having you here. I really mean it. And what else do I have to tell you? I love you. I appreciate you. Join the Patreon. Join the Discord because it's free, and you might as well. Hit sub or follow because that always helps our stats, and it's free. And then what the hell else was I'm gonna take next Sunday off, I think. No, I'm working on Sunday. I'm doing something else on Sunday, aren't I? What was I gonna say, guys? There was I'm becoming a VTuber.
Probably of the upcoming games, I would say Tuesday is the big game to come out for because it's by donation and it is going to be utter chaos. If you want to see, this is my dream, Kelly and Michael looking as confused as you've ever seen them, please please come donate a whole bunch because we are going to throw them through the ringer, and I'm very excited about it.
What is this?
Wait,
And what is this? What is this raising funds for?
you didn't say anything about a ringer.
It's raising funds. It's raising funds for WAVA, which is changing their name soon to the Solel Sexual Assault Service Center. It's a lot of S's in it. But yes, so raising funds for a very amazing organization, help people with all sorts of things like counseling, 24-hour crisis line. They send people by taxi and to hospitals when they need it, and it's a very, very incredible thing. I know Kel was saying that she's dealt with help. She's had them for people that Kel has been dealing with, and so has been on sort of the administrative side of dealing with WAVA, and has said they're absolutely incredible and they're a really good organization. And our friend Shar from Tabletop Titties is one of them and organizes the whole Streaming for Survivors project. So it's very, very cool. And we raised almost $600 on Friday with Jen's game, and it was lots of fun.
It's going to be fantastic. So please join us on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, where we go live with Powered by the Apocalypse TV, PBTV, where Christa, I have an artist rendition of what you hope to make our faces look like. You ready?
Oh, good. Okay. Yes, exactly.
All right. That shark was the best purchase I've made in 2022.
Agreed.
All right. So, folks, that is going to be it from us in the Spelljammer Light of Xaryxis crew. We wish you a good day, a good night, and remember, buy an item that soaks up radiant damage because shit, bro. All right. Be sure to save that because I have a feeling Francis will return. Francis will return.
After these messages.
And I still have so much blue paint. I really hope that I have a reason to use it.
You blew yourself.
Clearly not enough. There's still so much left.
Do you have help with that, or do you just blew yourself?
What?
All right. That's going to be it. Good night, everybody. Twitch, let's go raid somebody.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, random. It's over, man. Woo. Bye. It's been over for like an hour and a half. Where you been? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Go home. The movie's over.
Go home. The movie's over.
Home.
But what about the encore?
What are you still doing here?
What are you
Do you need a broom? Are you gonna clean up? Somebody clean up all this popcorn.
Are they gone? Is everybody gone?
I don't know.
Oh,
maybe we just wait.
My cheeks are killing me.